Yeah. Better days, I pray for better days. Working hard cause I want extra pay. Talk to them seeds, but you must demonstrate. Cause it's your ways that they gon' imitate. Non-violent. Sometimes I wish I would've went to college. Frown proudly. Cause where I'm from, they hate you when you smiling. Your faith should be your gun. You can't leave home without it. The children being grown, cause all the parents acting childish. You show them your reality, I bet they doubt it. You tell them all about your dreams, that's when they out it. Your own blood, ain't no family no more. They do you badly for show. You try to patch with your soul, Lord knows you on a mission to show him you so submissive. The prayer said in silence, you know the devil can hear him, pay attention. Know the war's within. How much time do you spend? Try to balance your zen, then again, losses is lessons. You tell me you trying to win. We know about saving money. You tell me you trying to spend that blood on it. Sweat tears, you put that love on it. Your best years was just a dumb moment. You tired of going hungry. Can't deal with fake making your life lonely. Your lack of faith that left your soul boning. But you gon' work and you gon' strive. Do what it takes to survive. What is truth? What is a lie? You know that war's inside. Some get draped into the fake. They don't know what to decide. Wrong choice, meet your demise. Keep that between you and I. You realize some people you gon' let go. You visualize the things you need to feed your soul is on the rise. They not gon' wanna let you go, but it's alright. It's cool to bury what's gon' grow. Went from wrong to the right and to the dark to the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. Gotta hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. Wrong to the right and to the dark from the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. You just hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no things change usually. Some folks get reintroduced to me. Yeah, I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me.
Yeah. Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Life.
This
race called life, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Race called life.
You know what? I'm gonna let you go ahead. Yeah. We do have. I'm gonna just go ahead and let you get it in, man. You know what? We got some tiny desk. We got a tiny desk performance coming up from Big Hemi. Yeah, we about to start doing those next week. So if you want to hit the stage, brother, you can come right on up, bro. Feel free. And this is the War Room. Hold on one second. Actually, before I go ahead and give the introduction, why don't you three gentlemen shout yourselves out, where you're from and what y'all repping. Then I'll do the introduction.
First, man. Respectfully.
It's boy Andrew Kakerakt, not the world representative, coming for the dark side of the moon. Y'all know how we get down.
It's your boy King Naga, you know what I'm saying? Coming from out that 504 by way of the 225, you dig? Now I go over everything. We in the building.
Man, this the boy Suave, man. Better known as Charles Wild, man. Coming from Darlene Wild and Allen Wild, man. Gary, Indiana, in the armpit of America, man. Digitally, the Argument League, man. We in the building. Shout out to the humans.
Shout out to these gentlemen right here. I'm looking for something that I just can't find. Hold on.
Man, where's Silky go?
Yeah, where's Silky go?
Hey, what's the name of that outro song?
The outro song is called Family by Connie Sons.
All right, Lil Doctrine 9329 is called Family by Connie Son. Who you think won the debate?
Yep. And I'll make sure that song is uploaded tomorrow on this page as well, just so people can find it. But he's on, actually go to Spotify and look him up. CONNIESUN. I want him to get every penny. That brother has been doing this for a minute. And before we get into it, welcome back, Titan family. The main event has wrapped. The dust is settling. And now it's time for what many came here for, the after show. This is where we slow the pace, turn up the scrutiny, and break down everything we just witnessed in the debate between Suave and Anu. Hold on, is that Silky? Okay, yeah, there goes Silky. Tonight we're diving into the punches that landed, the arguments that slipped, the strategies that surprised us, and the moments that might have changed the direction of the entire showdown. We're talking logic, structure, missed opportunities, strong points, weak points, all of it. Suave brought that. You know what? Let's get into it. I'm gonna get straight into the questions. How do you feel about your performance tonight, Suave?
Man, and just to provide clarification, that's Connie's son. CONNIE dash SON. Connie's son.
One second.
Man,
Let me pull up that ad for y'all. I'm gonna pull it up in a second for him. Go ahead, do your thing.
Good. Yeah, man, this is one for me, bro. And I mean, for many reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going up against Larrell, and Larrell, like, he gets a lot of respect. When he talk, people listen. You know what I'm saying? And, like, Team Naga, when they talk, people listen. And it's not like I went up against somebody from some group somewhere, sometime. No. Like, I feel like this is the president. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, shout out to him. So, but I really think, like, yeah, this was a conversation that was very antiquated to me. And it, like, yeah, man, I did great, bro. Shout out to me.
And same question for you, Anu. How do you feel about your performance tonight?
My performance, well, you know, I've been a little tired, you know what I'm saying? So I was a little rough around the edges. But as far as my deliberation, I thought it was pretty good. My sources was immaculate. My presentation was easy to follow. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I did a lot of rebuttaling. I did a lot of clarification. Keep staying on topic. Not making non sequitur straw man arguments. And answering questions as precise as possible.
Amazing. Next question for you, Suave. Did the debate go the way you expected it to tonight?
No.
Let me get some music in this background for us. It's
let's get some
dried
music.
in the mud.
Like play some funeral music. No, it didn't. I like real talk. Even with the antiquated conversation that it is, like I know Team Naga for putting a twist for modernizing information, and this was just one of them pockets where the real hadn't done that yet. Like, why go back to the Moors and make this a more reasonable conversation? So I get it, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, for some reason I thought he might have had an unexpected jab or hook or but he didn't. It was the same dance that I murdered people with 10 years ago.
Hey, and same question for you, Anu. Did the debate go the way you expected it to tonight?
Yeah, most definitely. My opponent couldn't rebuttal nothing I said. He used false equivocation fallacies, used red herring fallacies, used straw man fallacies. Most definitely did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Got to talk about the whole entire world, Egypt and Ethiopia and all type of other dumb shit. Ain't got nothing to do with Moore's 7-Eleven. Ain't got nothing to do with what they did. They ain't know nothing about the Moors, so we can bring them up for it. So I mean, yeah, he did exactly what I thought he was gonna do, man. He's gonna move the goalposts, talk about some other crap that ain't got nothing to do with the topic. Not address none of my points. Didn't rebuttal Tariq Amin. Didn't rebuttal Zaribab. I mean, you trying to win a debate, bro. You gotta do proper rebuttals. Denial is not a rebuttal. Denial is not evidence. So again, when you've got a scholastic debate, you got to come with scholastic rebuttals.
And that's how you spell Connie's son right there. Be on the lookout for this show starting this week. Intellectual Armory by him.
Oh, S-U-N. My bad, Connie.
S-U-N. Yeah, Connie's son.
Alright.
All right, let me go ahead and take that off the screen. And next question for Suave Boss. Was there ever a moment during the debate where you felt like you had complete control of the conversation?
Man, to tell the truth, like from the opening, because he went first. So his opening, once he clearly defined the Moors as an Islamic people, and I know that the Moors predated Islam. Once he really got on that stage and said 7-Eleven, and I knew that that was the Islamic Moors. Yeah, bro, it was like it's the same thing. It's over with. He ain't got it in him. But I didn't know if he was pump faking me, right? Because he could come up here and say something else today. But there was no way that I could paint that the Moors civilized the world. So yeah, bro, I really felt like I had it from the moment he got 2/3 into his opening. I was like, he ain't taking this debate serious, and I did.
Let's go. And same question for you, Anu. Was there ever a moment during this debate where you felt like you had full control of the conversation?
Yeah, man, I felt like I had full control over the entire debate. I mean, again, like I said, when it came to the actual Moore's contribution, I was the affirmative. I was the only one actually providing information about the Moors outside of the general definition of what the Moors were or what the Moors are called. Outside of that, I was the only one who was actually bringing any type of contributions to any type of civilization. Whereas he was talking about Egypt and Timbuktu and all. You know, he didn't talk about all type of other stuff outside of the premise of the debate. And again, when you say Moors, you're talking about a specific context, which is the reason why in my opening statement, I pointed out linguistic laws within our own language, English, that we speak. We got to have context clues, and context deals with a specific subject. When you have the subject of Moors, you're not talking about Egypt, you're not talking about Ethiopia, you're specifically talking about Europe because it's a European term. The Europeans are the ones who gave it to them, so why would you begin Egypt? So, like, again, I thought I had complete control over the debate.
Hey, okay. Next question. You know what? I'm gonna double back on you, Anu. What was the toughest point your opponent made tonight?
Again, my opponent didn't make any tough points because he was using red herring fallacies and strawman fallacies, which are moot points. I really don't even have to address them. You know what I'm saying? But I address them just for the sake of the debate. But again, if we're talking about Moors and what their contribution was to civilization, him talking about Egypt and other places, it's non sequitur. So again, nothing at all.
Okay, same question for you, Suave. What do you think what was the toughest point your opponent made tonight?
Like real talk, him being a fanatic. Like the fact that he said, yeah, they murdered, they raped, they killed, they did what they had to do, and that's civilized. That was like the fact. Hold on, God, what you doing? The fact that he embraced that, it was like that he was in the delusion that it takes to win that debate. So hats off to him for that, because that was like that took away the theos, that took away the emotional, right, which I wasn't depending on. But the antiquated argument would usually be attacked by, look at the horrific things they did. He came out the gate and said, and that's civilizing, and slavery civilized us. And I said, I'm walking away from that. Let's focus on what's here, because I didn't never depend on holding on to the emotional and the horrific things that Moors did. Moors did great things, but it was uniquely through the eyes of the Europeans in that segment of Europe that went through that. I bet that's a great part of their history. But when you leave outside that sector, they like the Moors. So we've been, yeah, but that was it. But it was weak.
Okay, next question for you, Anu. Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently?
Yeah, I probably would have pushed the debate back a little further so I had time to put together a proper presentation.
Okay, I like that answer. That's an honest answer. Same question for you, Suave. Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently?
Well, now that I know his answer, yeah, I would have pushed the debate back for him. So I could have got a more quality debate because I asked the brother what you need 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but he's very egotistical at times. Although he's one of the more level-minded people, he does like peak. He spikes in ego at times. And it was like, no, a week. So I would have definitely gave him way more time. But no, as far as my conversation, no, I feel like that conversation right there is gonna be here for a while, and it's gonna take somebody to bring some more information to even have to make me move off of that and update it. So yeah, giving him more time so that it would have been a tougher argument.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Um, I'll double back on you, Suave. Do you think the judges or audience will side with you, and why?
Wow, man, wow, why not? Like just seeing how the argument was set up, knowing that he just made this blanket statement that the more civilized world and not challenged him on it, and
What?
he
Stream
and
this
he
video channel too.
oh crap. And he's here. I shared the link to your channel. I shared the link to it, and the fact that he's him,
Mhm.
like this is Larrell Burns. This is Anunnaki Kakerakt manifesto. Like this is the guy that Team Knocker shut up and let talk for 40 minutes. And the fact that he made a statement like that and then it got reduced to a certain timeline, which I already know what the game is. But even then I was like, cool. Like that still don't, there's no time frame you can put them to more civilized world. And then when he came back and said, and by civilized world, I mean the seventh definition, I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. But yeah, bro, it's no, I stay where I'm at, and I would do it again.
Next question for you, Larrell.
I don't think you asked him that one. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, did I
You?
skip you, Larrell, on that one? My bad about that. Yeah, I did. Larrell, do you think the judges or audience will side with you, and why?
Um, well, as far as the audience, I really, I'm not a person who really cares what the audience really think about it during the debate because truth is my only ally. I don't look for bandwagon riders, well wishers, and ass kissers. You either understand the truth or you don't. But as far as the judges go, if they are academic and scholarly, I think they'll see that I put down proper rebuttals. I think they'll see that I laid out and I used language the way it's supposed to be used by dealing with context. I masterfully dismantled the things that he was saying and things that he was using, falsified them, turned them into non sequitur arguments and straw man arguments and false equivocation fallacies. So if they understand debate and they see those tactics I use, I think they'll swing towards my vote.
And quit acting like you don't see that link, man. And when we get done with the questions, respectfully, can we replay both previous rounds?
You said when we get done with the question with the war room questions.
Yeah, can we play both previous rounds? I just want to relive.
I think we could pull that off.
If everybody agree. I don't want no special privileges.
That's only 6 minutes. I want to see it too. Next question for you, Anu. Did your opponent surprise you with anything new or unexpected?
Hell no. I just told you, had this whole conversation, and he didn't tell you nothing about the Moors. He didn't tell you nothing that they did, nothing that they accomplished, nothing. He told you nothing. He told you about Botswana. He told you about Bantus. He told you about everything else but Moors.
Okay, next question, real quick, and then I'll get to Unc
No, that's the same question to me.
Oh, dang, yeah. See, same question to you. Looking back, is same question to you. Did your opponent surprise you with anything new or unexpected?
Yes, embracing the treacherous things that the boys did. Like he hugged it. He said, "Hey, we did what the hey, we stabbed our own people in the back." I've never heard a person come up here and defend the Moors with such a own stab to the neck. And to me, like I said, that was the part of the argument I felt was unique to him. When you come up here with the Moors, they expect like they really like push a romanticism for the Moors, and he didn't. He said, I guess it was romanticism, but it was in a different fashion. It wasn't like trying to avoid the conversation. Like he said, "Yo, we did horrible things, and guess what? You have a PlayStation 5."
Whoa, why you say we? I never put a we in that.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, because that is important. No, yeah, the Moors did. No, brother, I wouldn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're right.
well, that's my point. You were projecting the whole debate. See, I'm not.
Yeah,
talking
no, that wasn't your point. That wasn't your point. Don't do that.
I'm
All I'm
saying-
saying is that you didn't say you said the Moors.
I
But
actually-
him embracing that the Moors did some very horrific things and said, "Hey, that's civilizing people." When the Moors came in there and sprayed those spear chuckers down with machine guns, we
See,
civilized.
again,
And when the white man bred us to be the strongest African American,
crazy.
they civilized us. And so that was something he surprised me with.
Again,
okay.
like when I pointed out to him that civilized, big civilizing people or civilizing the thing is murderous warfare, no matter how you look at it, because you have to go in and change the indigenous people. You have to change their culture. You have to change the way they talk, the way they dress, all that shit. You're changing the industries that they have around.
Now, can I get a second to address that?
So that is in fact what civilization is. Anytime you see a people talking about bringing civilization to another people, it's always followed by murderous warfare.
Now, can I please address that?
So again, in order
Real
to,
quick.
to sit here and romanticize civilization being this nice,
You're
calm,
You're about to die.
little bow attached to it, thinking that that's what it is. It's not. Civilization is ugly. Civilization deals with the acquisition of people and resources, meaning subduing people.
Now,
and
after you Suave, we're going to go to Unc. Go ahead.
The only people he showed in this argument, them civilizers, is a specific part of Europe. Did they declare war on them? Was it followed by murder? Did they come in and acquiesce their resources? No. They came in them and brought them people out of the dark ages without war, but this man just set up here and murdered himself saying you civilized through war. And the only example he has of civilizing the people is through peace, gratitude, giving, charity. But then when it comes to the African, oh yeah, we civilized them through what? Yeah, shout out to the European eyeballs or whatever he said.
Yeah, man, ain't no peace without war. Ain't no
and then they go to
Yep. And then it goes, oh, yep. Titan family, hold up, because we just unlocked boss level analysis. For the first time ever stepping into the war room, we've got a man who needs no warm up, no intro, no disclaimers. But I'm going to give him one anyway. Tonight's surprise guest, the one and only Unc West, the God Killer, the fearless debater, the atheist assassin, the scientific literacy general, the man they call the king of sources and the pay-per-view king. He ain't here to debate tonight, though. He's just here to give some insight and ask some questions, critique what he saw. And how did you feel about tonight's debate?
Very interesting. As I looked at the whole process, at times they seem to contradict themselves. So, like, and I can tell you why. So, Christopher Eric's work right here, he actually talks about what civilization is, right? And basically, civilization civilized. Okay, so Laurel talked about bringing civilization, to Spain, Cordova, and those places in Europe, right? And that's a misnomer. So they didn't actually bring civilization because you had the Roman, the Visigoths, the Celtics, the Byzantine traditions already formed complex societies there. Urban centers, law schools, agriculture. It's already there, right? Let me, in particular, what they did bring was they brought innovation. Okay, like he said, they brought like building roads and stuff like that, adding to the infrastructure, science, innovation, scientific transmission. We know about the House of Wisdom that was actually in Iraq, right? And so they translated ancient text, Platonian information. This is my field study right here. And so they translated ancient texts. They did that. So they hyped it up. They added to it. But that's what humans do. They add to things, right? But they don't bring civilization. Civilization's already there, right? So that was a misnomer. Then when B.O.S. he talked for him, the very fact that people pay taxes means it's not civilized. Now that's when he fell off the roof for me. Like, that's not real. Somebody got to pay for the road building, whether it's through wars and getting booty from other places and bringing that back, right? The civilization, it's got to get fed, right? Empire, conquest. I heard that from Lavelle. He talked about conquest is ugly. Well, hell, tribal fights is ugly. Human interaction for land and resources will be ugly because you got to have it. You got to have food, clothing, and shelter. And somebody got to die for it sometimes. Got to be willing to put it on the line. And so I just think if they would have defined this particular discourse or debate, what they meant by civilization, right? Do we go by the European characterization of what civilization is, right? Do we go by what it is? So let me read this real quick and I'm gonna move on. It say any book which, like this one, includes civilization in its title must confront a highly problematic nature of the term. Unfortunately, the most common application of civilization, both by historians and by public, are fraught with value judgments. Societies of people only too commonly are described as civilized or uncivilized, or as having civilization or lacking it. To speak thus is to rely on mystification in place of subjective description and analysis.
That's right.
So they would have to what do we want to call a civilization?
Exactly.
Government, tribes, clans. I don't even like the word tribes. They had organization. My brother talked about the Nile Valley, right? He talked about the organization of the Nile Valley. And hunter-gatherer tribes get organized in certain governing systems, right? So whether it's complex or simple societies, right? To be civil is not to just walk up and murder a man and have some rules and regulations behind that for me. But I enjoyed the discourse. I actually stayed up. I was preparing my presentation for tomorrow. But I like the discourse. Like they said, it probably could have been a little more prepared. It was a little bit loose. I thought Laurel, as much shit as he talked, but I thought this shit was gonna be bah, 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 bah. But he was a little loose with it, right? Both of them was a little loose, and just keep working at your craft, yo. Keep working at your craft. And a lot of information. I'm gonna go back over it, and I'm sure it should be in the discussions in the group for a while. And let's just have a good conversation. Man, I enjoyed it.
Hey, that's what's up. Appreciate you stepping up on the panel and coming to support, man. That's definitely big, man. I appreciate
I
you.
definitely do, man. I appreciate
you
your
have-
presence, bro.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for either one of these two gentlemen?
Man, let me get a question, huh?
Hey, B.O.S. So for you, why is it? I'm gonna have a question for you and a question for Laurel. So B.O.S.
Yes.
Why is it important for you to say that if you're asking for taxes from the citizens, well, you got to protect? You got to have the troops there. Why do you think that makes them uncivilized? I heard your reasonings. I want to hear you reiterate that again.
Well, the thing is, I can't say that. I can't say that taxes make you uncivilized in a blanket statement. But what I did say is that there were civilizations that didn't have taxes. And now in a modernized era, I would like to believe that being civilized in 2025 is not being in debt through taxes. Like resources come from the ground for free. If people are willing to put in the work for their nationalisms to get it, then by the time an ore gets from the ground to your hand in the form of iPhone, it shouldn't have like quadrupled in fucking in price 100 times. You know, so the thing was he was affirmative and he didn't lay a clear definition of a foundation. So when he left it up to me to describe a civilization, it was a civilization that I would like to see because he gave me that room to do that. He didn't say this is a civilization. Where is what you talking about falling within it? So when he asked about civilized, I said, hey, yo, when I look at America, to me, this isn't civilized. This is an attempt at civilization, but we're clearly paying for it. And we've had civilizations in the past where those people were debt free, free healthcare, free of racism, and that is what I would like to hold civilization at the candle for. So that's all.
I'm gonna add something for you. And when you get into the study for real, what you'll find is the people that you're being taxed, like the government will tax them on crops, correct? What you'll find, people are very innovative. They will grow one little small area for the government. It'd be some trash ass crops, right? And then keep the best crops for themselves. So humans ain't never getting got like that, like you may think it is. Just want you to know that when you really get into the study, the deep study, let me get this work right here. All right, by David Wingro.
I gotta get a camera that follow me. Y'all got me fucked up. Okay, shout out to you. Respect.
All right, and just go over some of his work. Period. And they talk about how ain't nobody letting you take all their damn food, man. They gonna grow some bullshit crops and give it to the government. Because watch this, a lot of times we take our modern minds, right, and place it back on indigenous ancient peoples. Communication wasn't like that. In Europe, motherfucker couldn't govern that shit like they ain't Egypt. They couldn't govern it like you really think they can. The niggas could only govern what they could see, bro. Past that limit of what you can see, everybody doing what they want to do. Trust me with that.
I never thought about that. Growing some stuff in the middle of the woods or whatever you got to do.
Knock it off. You barely get caught now.
That's what I said. What is civilized in Europe? Standing in the mountains by yourself? Like, try civilizing Africa, where people are more densely populated. Like, civilizing, like Europe, is a bunch of people just surviving by themselves in the mountains. You know, so I get that.
No, they
I made mention of this in the debate is that when you make the fallacy of a false equivocation, right, is when you make the assumption that the first definition of the word is the only definition of the word. That is a fallacy, right? And I pointed that out in the debate, right? So when I pointed out that it's called context. When you use the English language, it's called context. When you say Moors, you're talking specifically about 7-Eleven Moors, Muslim inhabitants. And that's
let him ask this question, bro.
Hold on. And that's exactly what I showed and my opponent showed. Now you're in a debate and you're gonna show.
I asked you to name me one civilization that the Moors civilized. Let Unc ask this question before we go crazy.
Why is you doing that?
Yeah, I was going to ask you
that all throughout the entire question and answer round.
Just let Unc ask this question right quick.
I mean, I was talking, so I guess it's fuck me. Go ahead, Unc.
Yeah, it's fuck you. Let Unc ask this question.
You jumped in now. You jumped in, Larrell. Hold on. So, Larrell, you seem to have you just said that wrong. They did not bring civilization to nowhere.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they didn't, and you just mischaracterized it, and so you can fix it.
You gonna ignore what I just said?
No, I don't know. You always overcomplicate shit. I can't. I don't even know about all the fallacies and all that shit.
Okay, I said so. If you don't know about it, then
no. But I'm talking. No, I'm asking my question specifically. I don't want to get up here and argue with you, bro. Don't do me like that. I'm just saying they transmitted ideas, they brought innovation, right? But they did not bring civilization. And I name people like the Visigoths, the Roman Empire. I talk about the urban centers they had. They bought translating house. They bought a lot of stuff there, bro, which added to it. Like you said, they bought different crops, but they brought it to a place that already had civilizations, yo. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to get off that.
Again, bro.
So why did you do that though? That's my question.
Because
Why do you
again,
continue to
the
do that?
definition of civilization is not what y'all talking about. It's the process. Civilizing someone is a process. It's not a one complete thing. So again, if you just don't know what civilization is, now I'm gonna share my screen so we can be.
Nah, not even share screen, man.
What
What you been showing? A video, bro?
Hey, Lavelle, you just wrong on that, bro.
You been showing some AI video, bro? We cool. We don't need to show. You just debated, bro.
Yeah, you don't gotta re-debate it again, bro. I'm just saying for the next time, yo, you gotta know that they did not bring civilization to a place where the Roman
your AI videos, bro. You dead, bro. And that nigga showed a hawk flying from the sky.
I'm trying to show the
I think you in the debate, bro. What is these graphics you showing?
I'm trying to get the
Hey,
best.
this nigga, how can I rebuttal? That nigga said more than any I can't rebut
Hey, well, I'm out of here, man.
All right, we'll holler at you, man, in the back chat. Black Power.
Again, like, what's the point in having us here to talk if nigga is gonna sit here and talk over me? If you're gonna ask me a question and not gonna allow me to answer the question,
yeah, you can't answer that though. Lavelle just said,
gentlemen, let's show some decorum and let them. Everybody gets their time up here. This isn't the back chats.
Hold an intelligent conversation.
Answer the question, and then take the critique and get better, yo.
In these type of conversations, so if you could just show a little decorum and show a little bit of wisdom.
I am, Lavelle. I ain't arguing with you. I can't believe you think they brought you think they was uncivilized before they got there. It's crazy.
Show my screen, bro.
Don't mess it up, Lavelle.
Hey, share screen. Ain't one respect.
I'm gonna do a clip show on you. Don't mess it up.
Now again, it says civilization. First definition: a relatively high level of culture and technology development. Did the Moors bring a high level of technology and development to Europe? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so he thinks that they did not bring a high level of technology and culture, even though the culture and technology that they bought Europe never had. They never had it.
That don't mean that it's advanced.
So again, let me continue. It says culture characteristics of a particular time and place. So you saying what the Moors did was not culturally characteristic of the time and place that they were in. That's what you're saying. Again, here is civilization definition number 2, the process of becoming civilized, right? So it's an ongoing thing, right? So again, the refinement of thought, manners, or taste, right? It says the situation of urban comfort. So when you talk about what civilization is, what is the situation of urban comfort? Like what, bathrooms, washing your ass, hygiene? You mean those things?
Which we were doing for thousands of years.
But see, again, we're talking about context. The context is Moors. The context is more. So when you talk
the Moors been washing their ass for a long time.
Hold on, bro. Let me explain. Let me show you why y'all not scholars. Let me show you.
No, man. Come on, yo. You cannot take a daggone page.
We read the
I asked you, bro. Name me one civilization the Moors made, and name me one thing that they uniquely introduced to civilization. You had nothing. Name one thing that the Moors said, "Aha, we brought this into existence." You couldn't. They sold what the world already knew to an underclass people, and you want us to move the curtain for white people. Fuck you and your thinking.
It's non sequitur. Again.
Now you see how y'all just mix yourself up though, right?
When you go type in
Lavelle, you gotta listen, Lavelle.
When you go type in more people origin, the first thing it says is what? This is what it say. Iberian Iberian Peninsula, 711 to 1492 is what it says, which means when you see the word Moors, civilized, world, together, you can only assume that it's talking about 711, 1492. That is the context in which we were talking about, bro. We wasn't talking about no damn Egypt. We wasn't talking about no Ethiopia. They don't know nothing about no damn Moors. Nigga, the Europeans are the ones who coined the term Moors. So you can only be talking about the European area of influence. That's it. So when you get to talking about other things, you are creating a non sequitur argument and you're creating a straw man argument. And it's just disingenuous. It's disingenuous and it makes you completely off topic. So y'all can say and believe whatever you want.
No, listen, you got to really listen to what he's saying. He wrong too on that point. Listen, he wrong too, Lavelle. Listen, Lavelle, listen. The thing you said. Hold on, Lavelle. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute, Lavelle.
And if I'm talking about Tariq Abin, and if I'm talking about what Tariq
Abin, Lavelle, just hold on for a sec. Hold on for a second, bro. You're not debating it no more. Come on.
He's supposed to be developing those points, not talking about places that we're not being in discussion. So if you don't know how to conduct a proper conversation, you don't know how to conduct, have context clues, and don't know how to stay within the topic, then you fucking lost at a debate. Maybe y'all just don't know how to conduct a conversation.
Hey, hold on for a minute, Lavelle. Come on, y'all. I ain't gonna yell on the screen, bro. Listen, you gotta calm down. So when you put that thing back up there again, yo.
Good, man.
Botanica, put the Botanica thing back up there,
good, man.
Right, so, you shouldn't be getting upset, yo. Motherfuckers say, I lost all the time. Don't worry about it. Listen. No, okay, so let me finish. Listen.
I'm just saying,
so you read this hold on. Lavelle, what the fuck is wrong with you, dog? Come on, man. So you read a definition. Yes, I would say yes. He said no. I would say yes, they brought innovative things. Yes, they did all the stuff. And that definition you wrote, yes, they did all that. But they already brought it to a complex society. You remember after the Roman Empire fell and they was dividing it up, certain parts of it fell into a dark age, right? But I'm wondering at this point, do you know what a dark age is, Lavelle?
You know what a dark age is.
No, I'm asking you, what's a dark age? In your description, who would you say? I'm in the middle of just finishing my point.
Ask me a question.
But I'm not, let me finish. Just let me finish, bro.
I mean, stop asking multiple questions.
Man, I didn't ask man. Stop being fucking ignorant all the time, bro. This is on tape. Relax. Come on, yo. I'm asking you, based off what you've studied, right? And what happened in Europe when parts of it fell into a dark age, what does that mean to you?
It means the entire population, 90% of the population was illiterate. There was no science, there was no literature, there was no hygiene, there was no high science or civilization happening because their civilization had degraded. It had failed. It had completely dissolved, disseminated. And that's the reason why another people was able to come in and civilize those people. Hey, wash your ass. Hey, get this shit out the street so you can stop having bubonic plague and shit all over the fucking place. That's called civilizing a motherfucker. But to y'all, that's not civilizing because they already had shacks and shanties. Right? Fuck having aqueducts and running water and sewer systems. Fuck that shit. They got shacks and shanties. They're civilized already. They sleep with goats and pigs and shit. They're already civilized to you. Right?
Let us act civilized and try to tighten up on the language, please.
Okay, so I'm just saying, in the end of the day, to y'all, civilizing is what it is. But according to everybody else in the world and any other conqueror or globalist, which is the people who are usually doing exactly what we're talking about, colonizing people, when you civilizing people, that's what globalists, elitists do, conquerors, Genghis Khan, those type of people, that's what they do. Guess how they did it? They did it through murderous warfare. Most civilizations, America did it through murderous warfare. England did it through murderous warfare. Rome did it through murderous warfare. Greece did it through murderous warfare. China did it through murderous warfare. But somehow, y'all in 2025 don't think civilization or civilizing a primitive, inferior people don't involve murderous warfare. Whether it's physical, spiritual, economic, or cultural. It is what it is.
All right. So that's not what a dark age means. And that's why you coming up with the wrong answers. That's not, they don't even say that no more. That's a conscious community overwhooping situation.
Oh
When we
man.
speak in terms of a dark age, we simply saying that people, everybody, fuck it, motherfuckers couldn't read back then anyway.
That's exactly what I
So
said.
what it says, let me finish, Laurel. I'm trying to give you something. If you want to sit up here and get beat up, you can get beat up because you don't have a source to say what you're saying. Not unless you get a wild conscious community thing. So a dark age is basically is not producing as much literature. It doesn't mean that people was filthy, dirty, and couldn't wash their ass. The motherfuckers wasn't doing that anyway at high levels. The hygiene wasn't there any damn way. Period. In the Roman Empire, in the Greek Empire. That ain't the point. Just the amount of literature being produced wasn't like it used to be prior to the Roman Empire falling. That's all it means. It don't mean none of this shit we used to say, bro. So if you characterize it as that, them people wasn't crawling out the caves when they went over there. That's never, you can't find that in a real high-level college textbook. It's not what it's talking about. Okay, so if you get that straight, then you recognize that they brought things that was innovative, they added to it. But just because people bring China bullshit to United States, don't mean this motherfucker wasn't civilized, wasn't innovative. Doesn't mean that. Come on, Laurel. Or go get a source, bro. Go get a source to say they was crawling on their leaves. They couldn't read. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Go get that source, bro. We can talk around the source.
Again, never said they was crawling around out of caves. Never said they was on all fours. None of that shit. None of that stuff ever came out of my mouth.
What did you just say? Say it again,
brother. None of that stuff came out of my mouth.
You did. You didn't say that, but you said something.
I did. I said what they were doing was living in squalor, which what they were doing. What I did say was they had bad hygiene, which is what they were doing. In fact, when you read Moorish literature about Europe, they say that they could smell Europe 100 miles outside of the coast of Europe because they was that funky. Now, again, when we looked at the definition of civilizations, you agreed that the Moors did all of the things that require remedies the requirement for civilization. You agreed. And then you're going to sit here and turn around and say what civilization is or isn't. That's illogical for you to sit here and say out of your own mouth that, oh yeah, the Moors did bring innovation. Oh, the Moors did bring this. They did bring that. They did bring that. And then when you look at the definition of civilization, it's those things. It's those things. So again, you're saying that I needed a source to prove that. I mean, if you go into it, it says Dark Ages, a term for the early medieval period, which is what the fuck we've been talking about this whole time. Medieval period, right? In Europe, in European history, again, context, still talking about Europe. No other place. Egypt ain't get bought up in this shit. When we put Dark Ages in, Europe, Egypt didn't get bought up. Ethiopia didn't get bought up. Europe did. Right, so European history from roughly around the 5th century, right? 5th century, Islam came in the 6th century, right? So 5th century to the 10th century. So for 500 years, they were in dark age. That century is categorized by the perceivable decline in culture and learning. So that means that they were illiterate, and they had a decline in culture, meaning they didn't have no rituals and traditions like they supposed to, and as a rich civilized society, they didn't. They were doing backwater ass, pagan ass bullshit, right? And that was after following the fall of Rome, right? So after Rome fell, it really destabilized the area. It says the name of the coin by the 14th century scholar who saw the time as dark compared to the classical antiquity. The classical antiquity is in comparison to this dark age. Modern historians largely reject the term due to the negative value judgment. Right? They don't like the fact that it's negative. Political correctness, right? It's just alternative.
Man, y'all still talking to this loser.
They prefer alternatives like early Middle Ages. And everyone say that why? Because they don't want
to read. Don't explain it. Keep reading. It's going to show you how you wow. Keep reading.
Brother,
Stay right there.
It said the same thing I said. They were
No, it didn't, man. They don't even use that no more, bro.
Brother, it says
It's
that they were
misleading.
illiterate in no culture, and then
I
you
told
agree.
you your
I didn't say
conversation
that.
antiquated, man. You read a lot of useless books a long time
He
ago.
didn't
You
even-
gotta
no,
read
it
some
said
more.
it said a reduction in that. So how can something be a reduction if it wasn't there already?
Reduction, and I come and I bring that up. I improved it. I did something that it was not there.
No, it said a reduction doesn't mean it wasn't there. It mean they listen.
Okay, so why they didn't do it
You're
themselves?
using it. You're using a pejorative.
Why didn't the Europeans do it themselves?
No, what you're using
why
is
did
a
the Moors have to
pejorative.
do it?
Listen, they did do it.
Oh, no,
Rome was literate. Greece
So
was
why
literate.
did the Europeans build universities? Why did the Moors do it?
No, what are you talking about right
I'm
there?
talking
They
about
had other
the, I'm talking the
universities.
70 plus fucking universities that they
Crazy,
built
bro.
in Nova alone.
Yo.
Why
No, man, they
did
added. Don't you? So you don't get
why
what you
did
just
they
read though?
build the Moors to
No,
build
did you get
those
what you just read?
universities, and why didn't the Europeans who already
No, I'm saying,
occupied
why-
the area,
why did you just
who
read that,
already
though?
had the area, had already controlled the area? Why didn't they build those
No,
things?
why did you read what you just read though?
Why didn't they do it? Oh, that's right, because it was the decline in culture.
No, what? Okay, declining. Do you get that?
Which means that people who knew how to build shit, they not here no more. They dumbass.
Ah, no, wow.
Which is the reason why they in shacks and shanties, like I pointed out in my debate.
Yeah.
But again, y'all ignored all of that bullshit. You ignored it all.
Yeah, you definitely lost. Now I realize you lost that. At first, I was thinking it was a little even. Now that you reiterated the dumb shit, you definitely got beat up.
Yeah, I bet.
Good try, bro. You try. I didn't know you was gonna try to reiterate. I didn't know you was gonna read a source that supported what I was saying. It was a decline, right? Meaning that for something to decline, it has to be there already. It's what we're trying to tell you, but you refuse to listen, and you're using it as a pejorative. The way you explain it is a pejorative. It's very negative. It oversimplifies things, bro. That's not what the Dark Age scholars don't even use that anymore. They don't use it. Modern scholars avoid the term altogether because it's negative connotations and it's misleading and inaccurate. And you bring out all the inaccuracies of the term, bro. That's not true.
Political correctness. That is what scholars are doing is called political correctness.
No, they're not.
Definitely
not. It's because it's not true. You made that up. They had books and you tripping right now.
Oh, it's not the Dark Ages.
Well, anyway, listen, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Laurel. Take a critique. It might help you one day. Appreciate you, SOB.
Wasn't illiterate.
Hope y'all did good work, man. I'm out of here, yo.
All of us wasn't living in shacks and shanty.
Shacks and shanty.
Good night,
Hey, you know what's funny? A1. You know what's funny? He just called me a goofy. I ain't calling him. You know what's funny though? When most people study Nile Valley culture, they have about civilization, right? But most people are temple centric. Think about what I'm saying. They only study the things around the temples. Most of the goddamn land is not even in the Kemet. The Kemet is where the dark land is, where the agriculture stuff is. But most people lived outside of the Kemet, right? Most people did, right? Everybody wasn't in near the temples, right? Clogged in. They was on the outskirts. So how do you think they was living? Would you say they wasn't civilized? They had their own deities and all of that in any culture. So no, a dark age don't mean that. That's conscious community over whooping bull crap. It simply means things in certain parts were in decline. Thank goodness that the Moors went there and added to it, right? And we talking about the Islamic Empire, right? They ushered in new trends and science where they started separating it from their damn religion, almost, right? And then they push Europe into the age of enlightenment. Boom.
Which brought in white supremacy.
All that's dope. Now, see, that's when you fuck up at. Y'all crazy shit,
you funny.
We're going to white supremacy shit. Egyptian, African supremacy. All that.
There was always a supremacy somewhere at the point in time.
In 500 AD, where was this civilization that had these universities and had all of this high technology that the Moors had already that the Moors were bringing in prior to, right? So you're saying it wasn't dark everywhere. Look, it wasn't dark everywhere in Europe. So where in Europe was it not dark at? Like, where was that at? Can you give us a specific place?
I'm just gonna look it up. How about that?
I mean, I'm sure most people got to Google to talk to me.
Yeah, man. Why do you hold on? Let me say this.
Just go finish doing what you ain't got to
You're actually doing the community a disservice.
bro.
No, let me say this.
Don't be triggered.
This goes out to Brother Inky and all the damn pseudos. You actually do our community a disservice when you tell us we can't look in the fucking textbook. That's out of order for anything that's proper. At any time, never let a person tell you that you can't look something up to be correct and be right. Don't ever let a person tell you that you should not rely on the expert. You should rely on the experts. And never let a person tell you that you can't say, you know what, brother, I don't know. So, Steve, when you say you don't know, you're actually saying I'm relying on an expert as opposed to my own thing. When you say I don't know, that's proper for the field of study. Scientists, experts, all the time say I don't know. But in this community, if you say I don't know, all of a sudden you blackballed. If you say I'm gonna look it up, all of a sudden you're a Google scholar. Although you need to go to Google Scholar, because that's where all the goddamn real sources is. This community is ass backwards with statements like that. You know one thing I know about a pseudo know every goddamn thing and will never say, I don't know. I'm going to end with that, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate this conversation, man. We're going to get back to it. Lavelle, I'm going to see you in that damn back alley chat tomorrow. You know what it is.
Shout out Uck West in the building. He has departed. Yeah, man, that was.
I want to show you how dumb these gatekeeping ass niggas is. Man. I'm gonna just show you
Language, please, language.
I'm sorry. Listen, I'm gonna show you the gatekeeping at its finest. Share my screen. Share the screen. And this why you gotta check these smooth.
Bruh. I was gonna say something when you tried to say most people got to Google to talk to me. I was gonna be like, but you was the first one pulling up something. And here you go again, pulling up something. I thought you could just, you know what? I'm not here to debate. I'm just the host. Let me shut up.
Because me just saying it is not enough. See, once I tell you the empirical evidence, it's one thing, but then when I show it to you and then you disregard it, I know you're going through cognitive dissonance, right? So right here it says in 500 AD. There was no single center of civilization. It says rather power and cultural influence was distributed. The Eastern Roman Byzantine Empire, with its capital in Constantinople, and was the most powerful, largest continuous state, preserving classical traditions and the largest city in Europe. It says, in contrast, Western Europe was in a dark age period, following the fall of Western Roman Empire, with various Germanic kingdoms like the Ostrogoths in Italy, the Visigoths in Spain and France emerging, as well as the decline of the kingdom of Aksum in Africa and the flourishing Middle East, which was tied to the Byzantine Empire. So as you see in Western Europe in 500 AD, there was no centers of civilization because it had already declined. It was dead. The Moors saved it. The Moors came in there and saved it, bro. So again, like I could keep going on and on about. I could go on and on and just keep on bringing up instances and bringing up sources that show you specific.
No, we straight, man. You did your job.
Nah. I mean, I heard what you saying. Like you ain't got to block. You ain't got to gatekeep the information. See, we could do this shit all day, right? This is scholarly.
I do want to get back to the questions though, because we already had the timer out and the rounds, and we already brought all our sources up. I just wanted to go over the blow by blow, break down the debate. I didn't want to. But when Unc came up and he was giving you some good assessments, I did want to let you get a chance to
make room for that. Yeah,
Unc a hater, bro. He always gonna say some negative stuff against me, bro.
Well, I don't know. How did you prepare for this topic compared to your past debates?
I'd use the same methodology on all my debates.
Okay. Same question for you, Suave. How did you prepare for this topic compared to your past debates?
I got off of work today. I came home and threw together my presentation, knowing that I was going to get some antiquated information. And here you go. Less than a week. less than a week. Didn't need 2 weeks.
Definitely, y'all did put this together in about 6 days. So shout out to y'all, man.
I put them together.
Um,
Work.
I'm gonna double back on you, Suave. What message do you want to leave with the viewers after this clash?
I guess if it's centered off this debate, that the Moors have betrayed black people in antiquity and modernly. Like real talk, they were the reason why white people got put in a position to do what they did to us. As far as the transatlantic slave trade, remember that more like Moors predated Islam, but the Arabic Islamic slave trade is what ushered in the transatlantic slave trade, and it was those group of Africans that adopted this culture of Islam that put us in the worst condition ever. We were something to be marveled at before that. We still are. Like they're looking at like think about this. White supremacy is a very small slither of experience and time when talking about the earth and its whole existence. All before that, Africans were shining. Indigenous people were shining, building things and discussing things that they still haven't translated or can explain today. The Moors are one of those group of people who had that um, privileged position to be in the skin uniform, to have proximity to those people that allowed the outsiders to conquer us. Death to the Moors and the Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
Okay. Um, Same question for you, Laurel. What do you want to leave with the viewers after this? What message do you want to leave with the viewers after this clash?
Stay vigilant, stay studying. Never just take the first the first suggestion that pop up. Always cross examine. Always dig deeper into the knowledge because it's always more than what meets the eye. The Transformers taught us that. You know what I'm saying? Again, understanding language and understand how language operates in a conversation, especially in a debate form, an academic joust. You need to understand how language actually works. So when you are attempting to get a debate topic out of someone, you need to make sure that they refine and define the words that they're using when they accept that debate. And that's what this is a classic somebody making false equivocation fallacies because they don't understand how words work in the English language. So get hooked on phonics, learn the English language. It's your first language. You should at least know how to use it.
Okay. Okay. Um, I'll double back on you. I knew you came in swinging. Do you think you landed the knockout punch tonight you were looking for?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like I said in the first round, I already laid it all out. What world meant, the different various definitions of world, and how they can apply in that particular sentence that we were talking about, that particular topic. I brought up what Moors were, and he corroborated that by showing that it most definitely is dealing with the Muslim inhabitants, right? And which if it's a Muslim inhabitants, which means it's an Islamic empire, which is what I empirically showed. I showed the masterful strategic tactics of Brother Tariq. I showed the brother Alvaros his brilliance when it came to philosophy and science and mathematics. I brought all of those things out. The brother didn't tell y'all nothing about the Moors, nothing they did, no contributions, no nothing. All he did was sit here and ad hominem to death and told y'all how bad they were. They the boogeyman. That's all he did.
Okay. Okay. Same question for you, Suave.
Yeah, man.
Did you think you landed the knockout punch tonight you were looking for?
Several. Did he lay down and just get knocked out? No. But definitely several. And he actually brought in the atrocities that the Moors did. That was never my angle. My angle was simply they did not civilize the world. He the one who came in and said the Moors did a lot of horrific stuff, murder, betrayal to their own people, the taking of women sexually, and that's civilization. I never did that. So yeah, I felt like, he I mean, to put it into literal terms, a knockout punch would be something that he said, "Hey, you got me." Morel doesn't do that, but I definitely delivered multiple knockout punches that lead people to say Morel tripping. So yeah, Black Power.
And I see we have a guest on the panel. This is his second time back. Smokey Saint Polemics. How you feeling today?
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. How you doing?
Amazing, amazing. Did
Horrible.
you
Awesome.
get a chance to check the debate out?
Yeah, I did. No, I was listening in, and I gotta ask you guys, please forgive my ignorance on the topic sometimes. And I love these debates. I've loved listening to a lot of you guys throw down. I actually love a lot of the delivery, the dialectic. How you guys really hit your points home, and really, I mean, as aggressive as it can get sometimes, you guys really maintained a level of professional. I want to give you guys kudos tonight. I really enjoyed listening to it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. And I will say this, even as charged as it was, you guys were really great at delivering your points. I feel sometimes like I'm kind of coming in like, halfway through a movie where maybe I missed the beginning. I feel like there's a lot of preface and stuff, in a lot of these conversations, and we're kind of in the meat, and I don't even know kind of the base level of it. So it's been interesting listening. I'm kind of ignorant on the topic altogether, but I'm willing to learn. I thought it was kind of interesting. I guess I just, I'd ask a question of both the debaters if you guys don't
You
mind.
can ask a couple questions. Maybe they can give you some clarity on whatever you feel you didn't understand or want to know more about. Go ahead.
Cool. Well, I guess if I was to like say I'm just coming into the whole conversation fresh and new, and I was kind of wanting to know, at the very baseline, the real foundation, what is the real core, I guess, of what you guys are kind of arguing in terms of the function of what you're putting together? Like, is this about presenting a certain level of status or recognition of a certain condition of a set of people? Like, what are you trying to really get from this? Are you trying to set a moral standard or a level of recognition in society? Like, where's kind of the core of this, and you guys kind of arguing this? I'm curious.
I'm glad you asked it. Okay, so my whole premise in what I was doing was trying to show the hypocrisy in when we say civilization, right? We have no problem saying that the Greeks civilized people. We ain't got no problem saying that the Europeans civilized people, and that's completely okay. All of the murderous, traitorous things they did in order to acquisition and acquire those things was completely okay, and we all give recognition to those accomplishments. But when other people of other phenotypes do the same thing, it's not looked upon in the same light. And in this case, you had the Moors, or the Muslim inhabitants of North Africa, coming to Europe and do the same thing. Yes, they used warfare. Yes, they did all of the typical things that people do in war, but they also bought all of these great innovations. They also bought all of this high level of society, fashion, hygiene, all of these other things that actually improved Europe and then turned Europe into a dominating world power as it is today. So to say that they did not civilize Europe, the known world, which was that little itty bitty sphere of influence that they knew at that particular time and era, did they civilize those people? Yes, they did, because they bought them education.
And what do you mean by civilized exactly? Like what
I mean by civilized is murderous warfare and oppression of indigenous people, and the complete obliteration of their habitats and languages and cultures. That's what civilization is. That's what I've been taught civilization is by other humans.
Okay, interesting. Okay. All right. The other side, if I could get your kind of take on it, just kind of the core, like what you think this means to either accept or deny this, and like why it's kind of important to argue. Was it Laurel? Is that you, buddy? That you were the other debater, right?
That was me that was just talking.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, bud. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
So
Lorel-
Suave. I
Suave,
thought.
yeah.
Laurel was the affirmative and Suave was the negative.
Okay, Suave, you weren't the one just talking though, were you?
No, that was L'Oreal, the
Oh,
affirmative.
okay. All right. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm on my phone, so the screen's kind of small. I apologize for that. All right. Yeah. So thank you, Laurel. That was interesting, man. I appreciate you giving your take on that. Suave, can you kind of fill in your side of that? Like, why is this like so important to you? Like, what is this? You know, like what does it do for you to either defeat or, you know, deny or accept, you know, the contrary position? What do you think this leads to, or how this is real important to you?
Like to keep it 100, fam. I just feel like I'm a great debater, and L'Oreal is a great debater. And me coming into this area being created by A1 is merging multiple YouTube debate fronts. And he's just one of those big dogs from his front, and I'm one of the big dogs from my front. And so it was more about positioning myself and catching. You know, like I don't beef with bums.
More about the performance. That's cool if it is, by the way. I'm the same way sometimes.
Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you why. Because like I said, the argument is antiquated to me. Like it's a very old argument. To hold up the position that the more civilized the world is just something that Marco and YouTube haven't taken serious in a long time. But if I was to, I guess, milk it, like black people just really need to educate themselves and put themselves in perspective and stop living out of European mind frame where the destruction of your people is a holiday for you. So when we sit up here and put the Moors and champion the Moors and say something as dumb as the Moors civilized the world simply because they civilized the people that, you know, inevitably conquered or enslaved our people with their help. Like, come on, man. Like, we got to stop that. So it's
is it fair to almost say that like the top, like almost the position itself, you think weakens the stance of black men being taken seriously, maybe even like as if it's just a bad argument to put forward? Is that kind of where you're going with it?
Yeah, it's antiquated, like I say, and it's like even if we have to embrace the destruction of our people, we just want to win. And that's just not my position, you know.
So, Laurel, what do you think? Like, if you did manage to convince most people of this, what do you think the systemic effect would be? Like, what do you hope would be accomplished if like more people kind of accepted this position? Like, what do you think?
I think it will bring more attention to empathy and understanding that what we consider civilization or civilized might not necessarily be the core values of other people, and pushing ourselves on other people is not necessarily ethically and morally sound and correct. You know what I'm saying? So just because you see people that may appear as more primitive than you, don't give you the right to go and disrupt their way of life in order to modernize them according to your standard.
Well,
so that's like, what I want people to take away from that is, stop, think, what are you doing, and how does it affect you, the people around you, and how does that affect their own sphere of influence?
But do you kind of are you kind of like almost holding the position like the Moors are uniquely taken advantage of or higher heavier oppression than others, or
they backstabbing traitors, sons of bitches?
What's that? I'm sorry.
They're backstabbing traitors.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, gentlemen. I've really enjoyed this tonight, and really, you guys both put on a really entertaining performance. I was glued to it, even if I didn't kind of understand the full context. So I appreciate everything you guys did. And A1, thanks for hosting it, man. This is a neat one.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you through your entire education, you were never educated about the Moors or 7-Eleven?
No, not really. No, I'll be honest with you. No, and I'll be honest that most of my education was private. Kind of education, private paid education.
So Okay, so in school, right? When you learned about Christopher Columbus, like did they skip over the Dark Ages and then jump right into like Christopher Columbus discovered America?
Well, I
Like,
mean, my history. I mean, if you're talking about like high school, and
that we talking about is the time era that we talking about.
yeah, if you're talking about like my studies in like high school or like grade school or something like that, they were generally very overarching lessons altogether. Because of course, covering all of human history is a pretty vast topic. So, and I'll be honest with you, yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I probably did see the word Moors pop up a couple times. Could I remember what context it was? No, I couldn't.
And see, and that's exactly what we're talking about, right? How these people contributed heavily to what we consider modern civilization now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such a big, huge contribution, and then for us to have a public education and almost nobody knows, actually know about it. You go in the conscious community, all of us know about it. But when you, like if you go ask your average person on the street about this pivotal point in history, nobody seems to know. And I'm just saying, do you think that that's by design, or, people just don't care about, skipping like 1,000 years of history?
It's an interesting argument. And actually, I have a little bit of parallel context. I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but I've experienced something similar to this in some of my interactions with British people. Particularly those I've had fierce arguments with who tend to hate Americans, is they tend to jump to like talk about how dependent, like how they are the ones that contributed the most to our, country and culture. Legal system is based on them, and church systems based on them, and law and order and all these other, and they try to like lay claim to it as if, well, you owe us a bit of gratitude for all of that. And my response has always been, well, yeah, even if you gave the cornerstones and the original things, you got those from somewhere, and those people got those from somewhere. Ad infinitum, contribution to contribution back into the chain of the cradle of mankind. So it just ends up becoming almost, to me, a type of thing where you're arguing for a position of contribution that somehow, I guess, this is what it reads to me, that you're saying like the Moorish contribution is somehow superior to any other culture's contribution throughout all of the rest of antiquity. And that seems to be a bold claim to be able to stand behind. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, it's the opposite. I'm saying that the Moorish contribution are the exact same contributions as everybody else. They just,
well, then they're not meaningful and it's not important. There's no reason to argue it.
Exactly. That's why you couldn't answer. Can I ask you a question?
No, I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that what they did is the same thing the Greeks did. It's the same thing the British did. It's the same thing the Romans did.
No, it didn't, because they didn't betray their own people.
Yeah, they did. The Romans most definitely did, and so did the British. Like they fought a whole war. It's called the Revolutionary War. They most definitely did, right? And so they did the same thing. But yet we all know about that. All across the world, you hear about that shit. We all know about it. But when it comes to this itty bitty little part, this little 1,000 years of history that just happened, I might add, it ain't like this ain't like 10,000 years ago. It's not like, this not even 2,000 years ago. It's not even 15,000 years ago, right?
It's kind of hit different when the Greeks and Romans end up in 400 years of slavery.
This happened like in the past 600 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's like somehow it escapes the memory of history.
Laurel, are you trying to argue that like the Moors were the very, very first to ever generate anything that could be considered civilization? Is that?
No, not by a long shot.
I'm sorry?
No, not by a long shot.
Well, then there was someone that contributed to them. So then wouldn't they be the ones that are more supreme by your argument?
Yeah. Okay. So, but in the context of the debate, when you talk about Moors, you're only talking about from 711 to 1492. So the context is in a narrow time.
Right.
So like no, I don't think that they predate anybody or did something greater than anybody else. It's just within this little time frame, they civilized these people the same way the Europeans civilized the Indians. They did the same way. You know, they brought technology, they brought superior fighting force. Same shit, same thing.
Well, do you credit any Islamic cultural influence to any of that, or no?
The entire thing is attributed to Islam.
Well, then that's an Arabic or originated.
Thank
You know what I'm saying? So now your core to the Moor contribution is now directly from Arab culture.
Yeah, I stated that in my debate that the Moorish Empire, the Moorish civilization is a
the Arabic culture clearly, and even in the times of Muhammad, as recorded in the Hadith and the Quran, had a very, very structured civilization, and this is prior to the Moors by at least 50 years.
That's what I said. Like that's in my debate. Is that the Moors are a mixture of North Africans, Arabs, and Europeans who are Muslim converts. That's who they are.
And I would say the Moors predate Islam. But can I ask you a question, Smokey?
Yeah,
not,
go ahead, buddy.
Not to like be on no weird stuff, but I am Black Power. I do found myself to be pro-Black. So, does white supremacy exist?
Oh man.
You know, man, that's a complex question. You know, for the sake of it being such a wide possible definition, I'll say yes.
Okay, and that's it, because I feel
I mean,
like
it can, but I mean, when I say that, I do mean in both the micro and the macro, and it does have to do with levels of detection and enforcement. That's a big topic,
I do appreciate you answering it, but if it comes off as a complex question in 2025,
it is. I mean, I'd have to really qualify it so you really know what I'm talking about. But for the sake of just the quick overarching, yeah, man, I'll go ahead and agree with you. Yeah, it exists. You're good. Yeah.
Okay, appreciate you, God.
Did Laurel say Europeans civilized the Native Americans? Did he say that on the trip?
Yes.
Yeah, man, come on, yo. They had cities with millions of people.
He said warmongering, rape, and killing is civilizing people.
Like, we ain't understanding what you're saying. And by the way, Smokey, you did a great job right there. All right? We're trying to let him know how he oversimplifying stuff. And
that's what you want, oversimplifying what?
Yeah, you being funny.
Literally called the 5 civilized tribes.
Come on, yo. You is wild. Yo say these civilized
they
Native Americans.
5 civilized tribes because of what they were engaging in, which is slavery.
Man, what do you? All right, yo. You know what? You be gaslighting, yo. Rage baiting, yo.
Scamming.
You don't mean that.
Who am I baiting for rage?
Yeah, come on, yo. You can't possibly think the Europeans civilized. People got civilizations old as Egypt and the Americas.
According to
the Mayans, the Aztecs. Like, what do you? They had a writing system.
According to the definition of civilization.
No, you're mischaracterizing what civilization. No, you made it up.
Not, bro.
Yeah, you got your own.
Again, when you're talking civilizing people.
No, that's not. You're misusing it on purpose.
You keep saying no to everything that I say, bro, and you're not listening.
No, yeah, man. Everybody hear what you're saying. You're not making sense.
So how doesn't it make sense that?
Because it doesn't make sense.
Was the African Americans civilized through the slave trade?
Was they civilized by Europeans? Ask them that question. Go ahead.
Was the African Americans civilized through the slave trade, Laurel?
I'm saying.
Ask that question, Laurel. Then we'll know where you at.
You have a problem with me just talking.
Yeah, we do. Answer that question, though, Lavelle. We want to make sure we hand it right.
According to the definition that I keep presenting, when you talk civilization, you're talking the language of globalists, and you're talking the language of conquerors.
What? No, we understand that.
I'm not done. The only people who are running around talking about civilizing people are globalists and conquerors.
Now, were the African Americans civilized through the slave trade?
In the past 2,000 years, which globalist and which conqueror brought civilization anywhere without war, without murder?
Understood.
Your question.
The Moors civilized the Europeans of Europe without fucking declaring war on you, fucking punk.
Yeah.
Now, there was no war when you go up into Europe and you do all this bragging about bringing them soap. Did you beat them with the soap? No, you gracefully embraced a white naked booty and washed their ass crack with soap. Now I'm asking you, when it came to African civilization, why did you bring your guns and not soap? What I'm asking you is, did African Americans get civilized through the transatlantic slave trade, sir? Can you answer that?
Again, a civilization is a vehicle for global domination.
No, you weren't trying to global dominate the Europeans that the more civilized. Did the black Americans, known as African Americans, get civilized through the transatlantic slave trade, sir? Answer the question.
I'm trying to.
No, you're not. You're trying to avoid it, and I'm not dumb enough to fall for it.
Dictate how I answer the question?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but yes, I hold you to a certain regimen of answering the question. Did the transatlantic slave trade civilize African Americans, sir?
Don't answer the question. Don't ask me the question.
We're not going to ask no question. Yeah, we know you saying yeah to that. So I'm going to make sure I big up that part. I'm going to make sure I say that.
The question is wrong.
Explain my own premise.
No,
Y'all won't even let me do that.
no, for what?
Exactly. So
If
why
you
are
don't answer questions, you're avoiding questions.
What?
Because if you had enough heart to say the Europeans civilized the Native Americans, then you actually saying that Europeans civilized the Africans before they brought them over here and double civilized. Man, that's a bunch of crap, man.
Yeah, just keep on negating what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm getting off here. I just wanted to make sure I got that on tape. That's all.
We hear you. We hear you. You're negative against it. You don't have
Got that on tape. You sitting here thinking that Europeans civilized Africans when they went to West Africa. You really said that out your mouth, Lorel. You really said that, Lorel. You had the gall and the nerve to say that colonial powers civilized the world. You really said that out your mouth.
I mean,
with the global expansion, you really said that, and you mean that from the bottom of your heart. Because if you think they civilized the Native Americans, then you sure don't think they civilized the world. You wild for that, bro. I'm gonna tell you what they did. They ran into civilized people with civilizations, with their own writing systems, with their own communication systems, with their own artisans, with everything that you talking about, bro. They didn't do that. You made that up. You're out of order. I can't believe you said that. You wild for that. You completely bananas for saying that without colonialism, them daggone jungle tree hanging Africans wouldn't have civilization. I can't believe you said that. You is wild for that.
They bringing democracy to a motherfucking
democracy.
I've been quiet with this whole thing.
Can I share my screen right quick? I'm bombing the fucking shit out of your
Lorel, hold on real quick. Could I propose another angle?
No, King Naga.
Lorel, could I propose a slightly different angle? You know, just for a second.
It don't matter what I'm saying. It's the messenger, not the message.
No, that's no. I'm not treating you that way. I haven't treated you that way. Come on.
It's the people that look like me that does that.
Yeah, but I'm not. I think I haven't come at you in any kind of way. I'm really curious.
He's talking about Unc West specifically.
Go ahead.
But Unc is just coming at the information. But
no, he's not. He's attacking the messenger.
No, you just said that white people
said the same thing that the Christian church said to enslave us, bro. You literally just said that. And I heard it.
Why did I say it?
Go ahead, though.
Why did I say it?
But you also wouldn't answer Suave's question when he brought it back to you. Like, if it works over here for A, it should work over here for B. So were black people civilized through the transatlantic slave trade? But it was a yes or no question, though.
Every vehicle of civilization that you have ever seen where a superior culture comes into an inferior culture. It is a precursor to fucking war.
Except for when the Moors civilized the Europeans. There was no war. You're dead. Man, you keep escaping the obvious. They didn't go into Europe and conquer those white people. They went into Europe and helped them without bloodshed, without swords, without gunpowder, without disease, without biological warfare. They went into Europe and civilized a group of white people without war. You're dead.
Hold on. I want to let I'm sorry. Go ahead, Anu. And then I want Smokey
And
Saint
so,
to get
man,
in
look,
because he said he wanted to give you another angle, and I wanted to hear that. But
But
go ahead,
You
Anu.
need that angle.
again, he's saying that the Moors did not use the same tactics, even though I just sat here and read to y'all the military tactics that Tariq used to infiltrate and invade. Listen to the words infiltrate and invade Europe. This is what he did. He bought military men. He bought fighting units, over 7,000 men into Spain. That's what he did. So for you to sit here and say,
And washed white people up.
so you think he bought?
He brought warriors in and washed white people asses. He didn't kill them. Where's the bunch of white people dead from the Moors coming into Europe?
Again, filibustering, talking over me. Don't
Yeah, they ain't even fight no more. He was in there so quick.
Yeah, he took all the fighting class warrior Moors, went in there and washed white people.
It wasn't even no fight. They didn't even know they was coming, yo. They just
y'all
tripped
just
up.
gonna talk over me. So you don't want y'all don't want this.
Yeah, we want to hear what Smokey got to say. We trying to hear Smokey. It seemed like he may say something that's reasonable and coherent.
He don't even know. He don't even know the information.
Yes, he do.
No,
Because he never heard. He
here's
never
the thing,
heard
man.
that before. Nobody before the conscious community heard that the Moors civilized the world. That's a bull bunch. Nobody heard the golden age.
It is impossible to provide a precise number of Europeans killed by the Moors because the term Moors refers to a diverse group of Muslim inhabitants of Maghreb and Iberia over a period of nearly 800 years. And 800 years, and you ain't got 2 white people that these motherfuckers killed. Fuck you.
Again, right.
Keep reading. Why you ain't keep reading?
Again. How many Europeans did the Moors kill? Like, so they supposed to actually have a consensus number on that?
Right. Look.
Like what type
They
of?
do not exist. Reliable casualty records for the numerous. Nope, go back up because you died. No, he wanted me to read that last sentence. Now scroll back up so I can read the last sentence so that King Naga died on your end. No, scroll back up to that last sentence, brother, please. Hold on, wait, brother. Scroll back up to the last sentence. I know. This is what it looked like to die and still have breath in your lungs. You won't read that last sentence though, like Naga said. King Naga said, keep reading.
Hold up, brother. I was muted out for the whole show, brother.
I understand. I'm only agreeing with you. I want him to read that last sentence like you just asked. Didn't you just ask, keep reading?
Brother, you said it wasn't no wars, but the information.
Scroll back up so we can clarify what he told me to keep reading, brother.
The information says continuous conflict.
No, that's not what the fuck you asked me to keep reading, coward.
Language.
The first part that I stopped reading, you said keep reading. Now let's go back up to it. Scroll back up, Naga. Team Naga, scroll back up, and then we can get to continuous conflict. I know. I know.
Yeah, the conflict because they was trying to run the Moors up out of there. That's the conflict.
Those were black people. The presence of the Moors in the Iberian Peninsula in 711 and 1492 was marked by centuries of conflict between Moors and other black people. You were not killing the Italians. You were not killing the Spanish-speaking white people. That's why they still there today. Y'all killed the Africans out of the Iberian.
Later, reconquista by Christian kingdoms. These wars involved numerous battles, sieges, and raids. So you saying there was
How did he skip Smokey? How did he skip Smokey?
How
did he skip Smokey? What happened to Smokey? I'm trying to hear that.
Native Americans was used by early U.S. leaders like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson to describe a policy that encouraged.
Come on, man. Let the man go.
I actually wanted him to show this because I wanted to respond to this. But Smokey was supposed to go first.
It's okay, gentlemen. Take your time. I can wait. It's okay. Go ahead.
And European-style housing. The U.S. government also forcibly removed Native Americans from their ancestral lands.
Hey, Black Power, man. I'm going to sleep, man.
Yeah, me too.
All right, man. I'm on, man. Hey, one man. Shout out to you, bro.
Y'all give me 60 seconds. I want to show one thing too. I want y'all to look
at the plan of civilization. They had a plan of civilization. You got the 5 civilized tribes. This is, their definition of civilization. No, so it's like, what are we really talking about?
No, you saying they civilized them too?
All right, A1, you got 60 seconds. I mean, not saying you got it, but A1.
It's not us. We didn't write none of that.
Y'all backing that dumbass shit?
They're saying they civilized them, brother. Naga ain't saying this.
Man, I didn't debate them. I debated Lorel. You're a big dog.
Yeah, I'm saying what happened. You're calling it being civilized. I'm calling it an acculturation process, assimilation to a different culture, typically the dominant one. That's not civilizing someone. I don't believe. But I'm not a judge either, so it doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah, so
Right, that's what happened right there. That's what it was.
The definition of civilization.
Thank you, A1. Appreciate that, bro.
A1, what you just put up here, assimilation to a different culture, typically a dominant one. Now, if you go type in.
This shit is confusing, yo.
Civilization.
You're saying it wrong, yo. Listen.
Okay, and while you looking it up, I want Smokey to fall and get his. I want to hear what Smokey to fall got to say.
Right now, it's on Smokey too. It's on Smokey right now.
But I want Lorel to answer the question: did the transatlantic slave trade civilize African Americans? But go ahead, Smokey.
That is a good question, by the way. I was gonna add something in the mix there too, just on this point. In fact, if I could, because I'd like to see this conclude, and then I have a whole other thing to run by, because it's kind of disconnected. I don't want to throw it in the mix now. I want to hear you guys finish this, but that's an interesting idea of the civilized, because the Moors, as far as I know, were civilized by rather extreme amounts of force by Islamic Arabic tribes. You know, so really what you would have to almost claim is that Islam, you really can't say the Moors, really civilized the world, even if you're trying to make that claim, because the Moors were basically taken over by Arabic Islamic influence. They were civilized by them. Yeah. And then through them, you would have to be claiming that led to the civilization of the world, which isn't even true, because Islam hasn't spread throughout the entire world and has not civilized parts of the world, certainly not China and Asia. And other parts of Europe. India. So, yeah, exactly. So, well, India, that's a little up in the air. It depends on the region. Some parts of it are Islamicized. But what really your core source isn't the Moors. The Moors are just one part of a contribution of an entire system that's basically Islamic and Arabic. That's your source. So, like, trying to, claim the supremacy of the Moors, they're just a step they're just a stepping stone, really, in the path of Islamic, basically taking over of the world. And you're basically trying to claim, well, we were part of it, so therefore it's ours. That's how it looks like to me.
No, it's not an our thing, right? Because I'm not claiming.
Yeah, he got you on that, bro.
No, how he got me, but I don't.
Because he basically saying that the Moors didn't supply the finances. It's called the golden age of the big empire, bro.
And you can root it in Islam, but it goes back to Abrahamic conquest. Abrahamic conquest brought on Christianity, Judaism, and Islam in a way that fucked up the people that it indigenously came from. You're dead.
It's the golden age of the Abid Empire, not the golden age of the Moors. Who made the swords? Who financed the wars? Who did what? It was the Abid Empire. They started the House of Wisdom, the translating houses. The first universities was not brought to Spain by no damn Muslims. You made that up, bro.
Like I said, if you go,
you made that up. You can't go nowhere and find that.
All throughout the debate, I attributed the Moorish Empire and everything that the Moors did to the Islamic Empire. That's why I kept
all right, so get that straight.
Muslim inhabitants. Muslims are practitioners of Islam. So it's all inclusive.
Right. Stop playing the Moors then, yo. Stop playing.
If they're Muslim inhabitants and they're the Muslim practitioners doing this shit, it is an Islamic empire, which was fucking flashing in the screen the whole fucking time. Islamic empire, Islamic empire, in fire. It was lit up. It was lit up in fucking fire, all throughout the debate.
Bologna.
Look, hold on. Look, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's see.
Man, okay. Okay. I'm saying okay.
We doing it.
So what's your point on that though? So then your whole argument is crazy. Then you saying you brought a source that agree with what we're saying, and now you overwhooping the Moors.
Is exactly what y'all talking about. I did.
What about the universities that the Moors brought? The first universities don't come from the Moors.
Who said anything about the first university?
I'm saying in Europe.
Bro, who said anything about
You
the
didn't say
first?
that? You
Who
didn't
said
say
anything
that?
about the first? Nobody made that claim.
You said,
You keep
okay,
making
what was the claim? Hold on. I don't want to
You
miss
make a lot of
Raji.
fallacies
What
after
did you
lot.
say about universities?
Nobody said anything about the first anything.
Oh, okay, take the word first out. What did you say about universities?
Your argument is moot.
No,
Nobody
what
said
did you say about the universities then?
If you don't know, then why the hell are you even speaking on
Okay,
it?
well, we got you on tape, bro. We got
You
you.
don't even know. If you got me on tape,
You
then
said,
rewind
where
it.
was the universities in Europe? Is what you said.
Stop
Did you
asking.
not say that?
Just stop
Did
asking.
you not say that? All right, you just want to be.
All you gotta do is pull it up.
All right, you're right.
You ain't got to do that.
We
Yeah,
have,
get out of here.
we have digressed into a dark age.
Yeah, exactly.
Hank, it's good to see you, bro. Good to meet you. It's been fun listening to you tonight, man. So yeah, thanks for popping in.
I want you to look at my screen.
No, you did a great job of confusing everybody. Confused.
Put my screen up.
Hey, A1, did you? Are we getting mixed up though, A1? Maybe we get mixed up, A1.
I want you to look at. I want you to look.
Is he trying to say that they said, or the trick?
This is flashing through my entire presentation. What do you see up there? What does it say?
Man, we seen that.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Smokey.
Well, no, I get that, buddy. But the thing is, it's kind of like,
he's saying you should have made it the title.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
I don't have to make it the title when Moor itself is the Muslim inhabitants, not the Berber inhabitants, not none of that shit. It's the Muslim inhabitants, and I showed that there were white Moors, black Moors, and all different type of Moors. I showed that. Right, so it's not about one ethnicity. It's about a group of people who converted over to Islam, and that shit that they took into Europe is what they colonized the shit with. Like, come on, stop playing with me, bro.
The people there, the Moorish people there, didn't seem to have a conceptual idea of a need of conquest and spreading out before the Islamic influence reached them. And Islam was very much about conquering the world with the sword, saying to subjugate people until they, either convert to Islam or pay the jizya, which is the unbeliever's tax, that everyone has to pay if they don't convert to Islam. This was basically what they were taking with them in their progression to conquer the world. I'm so sorry. So it's just, you don't have the Moorish people or the people amongst that group having any idea about stretching out and doing any conquering, or as you call it, civilizing, I guess, until there's Islamic influence. So I don't see how you're giving that contribution to that specific people when clearly there was an influence that was cultural, that was not of them, that was contributed to them. And by the way, by force.
Smokey, what specific people are you talking about when Moor is not a specific people? Because Moors are the Muslim inhabitants of North Africa, Spain, and Arabia. That's who the Moors are. I don't know why y'all keep trying to.
Well, okay, so there's no genetics to them, really?
In my debate, it literally said there is no anthropological or ethogenetic. It's none.
Okay.
So I clearly
it's like a blanket term. It's like a blanket.
Well, then you're kind of just then there's kind of just nothing you can measure in terms of a method of contribution then, because now you're just talking about some innocuous group.
The contribution is specifically Islamic because they did it under the premise and the guise of Islam and their Muslimhood. That's what they did it under. They didn't do it under the guise of being Berber. They didn't do it under the guise of being Zignaga. They didn't do it they did it under the guise of Islam and spreading Islam. That's why they did it. You wasn't even considered a Moor unless you converted over to Islam. Like Berbers would consider pagans and fodder for the sword if they didn't convert. Right, so only the ones who converted over to Islam were considered Moors. That's why they keep calling them the Muslim inhabitants and not just the Berber pagan inhabitants. That's why they're not calling them that. No, it's specific. You have to be a Muslim convert in order to be considered a Moor.
So then is the criteria to be a Moor just a holding the religion of Islam while living in North Africa? That makes you a Moor?
From the perspective of Europeans, being Christians and Catholics, you're not a Christian or a Catholic, and you dark skinned compared to them. So those are enough discrepancies for them to give you the label Moor.
Okay.
So it's literally in contrast, in contrast to European culture as far as being Christian and being white. It's in direct opposition to that shit. So when you're dealing with Muslims, the Muslims don't have that whole racial. Well, they tell you they don't have that whole racial thread going through it, and everybody's just Muslims, and like that. That's the whole thing. Like everybody's
Right.
Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I keep on trying to explain to them. Like,
Are you Muslim, by the way, just out of curiosity?
no, I'm not Muslim. I used to be proclaiming more, and I used to study Orthodox Islam, Sunni Islam,
Okay.
for a
Okay.
while growing up. But after a while, I let that go too because it's just another Abrahamic religion. So I let that go too.
Okay. I got you.
When it comes to the subject of Moors, it's specific. Like if I bought up the Moorish Empire book made back in the 1900s, 1800s, I bring that up. It specifically points out that Moors are specific converts, and you was never considered you was never not considered Moor if you wasn't a Muslim at that particular time. And then over time, it became a blanket term for even a greater group of people. So
it's starting to sound like me, Laurel, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's almost starting to sound to me like Moor and Muslim are just interchangeable terms.
Yeah, they are more.
Yeah,
Muslim,
and it was a point in history of what they actually were. Yeah.
Yeah, more Muslim, and black has always been synonymous with each other.
Okay.
Yeah, even the word it means death. It means death.
You know what? That clarifies a lot of this for me now. Actually, that was kind of okay. I'm following you. All right.
And the other brothers were saying, they were saying that dynasties was a requirement for civilization. Well, it was multiple Moorish dynasties. You had the Idrisid dynasty, the Almoravid dynasty, and it was another one. I can't think of the name right off the top of my head.
One of the most famous dynasties was under King Idris II, who established the Moroccan. I think it was the Moroccan Empire, if I'm not mistaken. He was the started the state itself.
No, it was Idris the First. Yeah,
Idris the First. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
Idris the First established the Moroccan state. Yeah, so.
You know what I mean? So it's a very interesting part in history, and it's like I wish I could dissertate the information without having people disrupt and try to filibuster everything that's coming out their mouth because they ignorant of the subject. But like this is the reason why I use those terms for civilization is because of all of the examples of civilization before us. That's why I kept asking, when have y'all ever seen civilization be brought to somebody or something where it didn't involve drastic change by force? Like, when has that ever happened?
And not only that, it's like for the most part, the history of civilization is told by the conquerors. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I brought up the Native Americans, because the history of the Native American being civilized is told by the people who conquered them. Same thing with the people in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at history will paint it as they civilized the people they brought to America from Africa. You know what I'm saying? Because history is being told by the conqueror. So, and it should be the same thing coming from the Moorish aspect. You know what I'm saying? But we're getting our history from today's conquerors, so they're kind of not using that word civilized, even though Moors fit all the criteria of being civilizers of Europe.
Yeah.
There's one other angle I'd like to present just real quick, and I'll yield. And I appreciate the time, and thanks for having me, A1. This was fun.
So it ain't gonna be no disruption, so you good.
Okay, cool. No, I appreciate it. This has been interesting and informative tonight from both your sides. One thing I wanted to present, and this is one thing I was kind of thinking about while I was listening to parts of the debate. I was thinking about kind of the contributions, that are kind of made to civilization, right? And like we have someone who came up with the idea for how, a courtroom should be set up. We have someone who came up with the idea of, a road being paved. We have some person, there's always some guy that came up with something that was just kind of like, oh, hey, this is a great idea. And society just latched onto it, right? So, and like, there's like, for instance, like a particular black person that I'm particularly thankful of, George Washington Carver. He made peanut butter, and peanut butter is delicious. But like, when I look back at that, I say, awesome, George Washington Carver was a brilliant man with a wonderful contribution to society that everyone loves. You know, and I don't look at it through the lens of, oh, well, thank all of black kind for him. I just look and I thank him. Just like I would thank, you know, someone who was European or German who gave me the can opener. I'm not thanking all of Germany for giving me the can opener. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I think there could be something to clean up on some of the conflation of what you really mean by civilized, because there's a lot in that, you know, because it sounds a lot of it like it's just like, it almost sounded like you were presenting it like someone comes in by force, takes over, and then increases community structure or infrastructure or gives some sort of governmental, you know, it almost sounds like your idea of civilization is going into a more archaic realm and forcing them to into a more civilized paradigm.
Yeah, that's exactly what civilization is. That's exactly what civilizing somebody is.
Right.
Unless you can provide an example where civilization was brought to lesser inferior people, and that wasn't the case. Like, can you think of a civilization where that happened?
I'm sorry. I said again. I'm sorry.
Can you think of a civilization that arose and they imposed themselves on a lesser a lesser civilization, and that didn't involve the complete destruction of the lesser the lesser civilization? Like, is there culture?
Yeah. I mean, you could look at various different instances where vassal states were created. The one famous one.
Vassal states?
Yeah. So if you were an imposing army and you were going to come into a region with the intent to take it over, you would usually, for the sake of minimizing bloodshed and expense of a conflict, by offering a treaty of being a vassal state, where then the kingdom would be allowed to continue on its normal path of governance and civil structure, but is adherent to rules, customs, dictations, and taxes to the overarching government. And this is where you could see the manifestation of a change. And the Hellenists is another good example, very heavily influenced by Rome, where you basically have some sort of brokered peace, which then allows a strong cultural influence to leak in with a new level of hierarchical governance. And it does happen in history. It does happen. I would argue probably more often than not, you're right. It does happen with bloodshed. You know, people want to defend, you know, their national freedom, liberty, and identity. That does happen a lot. I'm not going to deny that. But there are instances where there is an infusion of culture and a new supremacy of regime. Even the Babylonian Empire, the Assyrians did this. The Phoenicians did this, where they would take over and they would just basically be the new adherents, but they would not destroy society there as it was. They would simply infuse it with their own standards and cultures and customs.
Yeah, okay, so again, like even with those, the Greco...
Real briefly to interject, I'm in the other room giving myself a haircut, but I got y'all on the 70-inch listening to y'all. To add to what Smokey Saint said, I'm thinking about Egypt. Like, they did the same thing. They would conquer people, still let them keep their gods, etc. Tax them, stuff like that. So
Romans even did that. Yeah, Romans even did that. Yeah.
But that still, even Egypt still end up subjugating the people. They still end up killing, murdering, and subjugating the people to do that.
But not always. But not always.
It ain't never a time to where it's not used, because in order for you to bring in new laws, you have to subjugate people. That's the only way to do it. There's no other way to bring in new laws, new culture, there's no way to do it without subjugating and oppressing the lesser.
No, I have an example where that's not true at all.
Okay.
And it was the handling actually of the drug crisis in Switzerland, where their drug epidemic was through the roof.
The who?
Now, Switzerland.
You said no. You said a drug epidemic.
Yeah, they had a massive drug epidemic. Drug abuse was rampant, and people even with just sitting on benches in the streets with needles sticking out of their necks, and they couldn't even keep up with the prolific abuse. It was like off the charts, some of the worst in the world. And their big answer to it, the new law that they came up with, was to remove the laws against drugs. And basically now the addicts were not penalized and thrown into jail, but they were handed to counseling. And they were not criminalized for their conduct. And they realized that, well, the only reason people usually use these substances is because their lives are terrible. If we help them make their lives not terrible, they don't want to use. And that's exactly the approach they did. Now they have no drug problem at all. In fact, the lowest in the entire world. And their whole answer was integrating a new law, which was basically just the removal of a law.
We're talking about colonization. You're talking about a government doing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you can alter laws, change laws, add laws.
Ultimately, not talking about
that coalesced with society as a whole anyway. And the only people that are affected are the divergents.
We're talking about the inquisition of land and property and resources from people, from a lesser people. That's what civilization is. Every time it happens, this is what's happening. It's not the same thing.
Well, what's your criteria for lesser?
I'm saying that if my people come in with superior technology, like we got better war weapons, we have better weapons of war, right? And because we have armor and you don't, you can't beat us the fuck up. You can't do nothing with us. So we dominate you. And because we dominate you, we're going to subjugate you. You're going to do what we say because you can't beat us. This is how civilization works. This is the reason why the Indians got done the way they got done, because the people who came and subjugated them had superior firepower, had superior technology. I'm gonna give you another example.
I'm gonna
give you another one, right? This might sound familiar. Homo sapiens sapiens, Neanderthals. They are a product. The Neanderthals are a product of civilization, of humans or our ancestors bringing civilization to their ass, civilized the hell out of them to the point where they're not even here no more, right? That is an example of humans on a primitive scale doing it, right? And it ain't never gonna become a time where a stronger, faster, more efficient, more better communication having people is gonna come in contact with a lesser people that don't have those technologies and not dominate them. You ain't never seen a time in history where a lesser civilization dominated a more powerful nation. So anytime you hear civilizing somebody, you already know it's one stronger nation trying to impose themselves on another one. You know what I'm saying? Or else it wouldn't have been called civilizing, it would have been called trade. They would have just been called trade back and forth. But but you got to civilize them, meaning it's something wrong with them that you have to fix. Right?
Yeah. What are you talking about? America now calls freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And democracy.
How is freedom spread throughout the world? Is it not spread with B-2, B-1B bombers and B-2s and F-22s and F-35s and F-16As and
I mean, and it's just like we have to completely ignore every vehicle of colonization and civilization. We have to ignore all of them to have this political correctness, fluffy ass concept of civilization. No, civilization is ugly. It's dirty. It's nasty. It's monstrous. It's narcissistic. It's all of that. It's all of it. It's not pretty. So it's like that. That's why we don't have no utopian society. Every society you see on this planet is came out of conflict. It arose out of conflict, whether it was internal or external. That's how it comes. And so that's why I'm saying I'm not romanticizing anything. That's the reason why I talked about the Moors the way I did. They traitors, they backstabbers, they all of these things is because that's exactly what they did. And most of the time when you got elite people, the way that they get elite is by stepping on the necks of other people to get there. So that's why me and Ruben keep on stating that the only people who talk about colonizing or civilizing people are globalists and conquerors. So if they are the only people who are civilizing people, Where are y'all getting y'all definition of civilization from when the only people who do it are conquerors and globalists? Like I'm just perplexed, and I'm just
Well,
like, who else doing civilizing around here if it ain't globalists and conquerors?
Yep, because we show about to civilize the shit out of Venezuela.
China's civilizing the shit out of our social media. I think.
Yeah, they sure the hell is.
It is what it is.
Well, I'm gonna bow out, gentlemen. Thank you for having me and answering my questions. This was fun and really interesting. So yeah,
Bro,
I appreciate you guys, man. And A1, thank you, man, again for having me. Thanks for hosting these debates. You guys are awesome, and you have yourselves a good night, man. Be blessed. Peace.
You do the same.
You
Look
as
forward
well.
to
Have a good
chopping
night.
it up with you again.
Yeah, man. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Like I said, they want to make these fluffy definitions of civilization, even though when they look it up, it tell you that it's a process. It's an ongoing process. It's not even like a one-time thing. You know, so it's just like, geez, like
I see your argument a little bit. I see what you're saying, like, and I see how you can put it together like that. Because by definition, but I don't think prior to this debate you went by some of them definitions though. That's the thing.
Oh no, not at all. Nigga,
Yeah, so
like,
you
this is a whole switch up just for this debate.
yeah, you did a whole switcheroo of stuff that you stood on stuff you won't stand on. Because
Yeah,
you don't
like,
consider them coming over here and doing what they did to the Indians, civilizing nobody.
No, I don't. I think it was completely immoral and
But
debauchery.
you're trying to use it today to say that that's what they was doing.
Yeah, I'm a debater, man. That's
One of the hey, you know what? One of the greatest debaters, because you. No, I'm serious though. If you'll stand on stuff you don't believe in and push it, like some people just can't even do it. Like, but you did it, and you did it at a decent level, but I see the holes though too. You know what I'm saying? Like I see both sides of it. But like I say, I'm happy I'm not a judge on this debate because this was tricky and weird.
And that's why I said it's going
in a good way though. In a good way.
They're gonna have some pretty good handles on the definitions that we use. And like I said, it is what it is, and that's why when you go back into like the definition of civilization, and it say situation for urban comfort, say refinement of thought, manners of taste. Well, how is that civilization? Refinement of manners, thoughts, and taste. Right? Ain't nobody using that definition. Why you ain't using that definition? Right? It says the process of becoming civilized. It says civilization is a slow process with many failures and setbacks. So you think civilization is this peaceful thing that just like bling, we're here, we're safe and we having fun? No, bruh. And then it says a culture characteristics of a particular time and place. And I'm like, yo, it says a relatively high level of culture and technological development. And I'm like, bro, everything that y'all keep saying about what the Moors did in that motherfucker was just that. They brought a high level of culture and technological development. But you're saying they didn't bring civilization to them? So technological development and high culture is a prerequisite of civilization. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, that utopia idea would be a perfect world. We've been in a constant state of war for at least the last 5,000 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know where they're getting this utopia from.
There ain't no damn utopia. It's no damn place.
For real.
None, not one. They can't bring up one. And that's why I'm like, when you go through the information, you will see like, dude, all of the people who call themselves civilizing people were fucking murderers, rapists, pillaging, plundering, marauding, mercenaries. Right. You know what I'm saying? Think about all the Napoleon, Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington.
Man, you can stop all of that.
This kind of like
the pre-dynastic period. The pre-dynastic period of Egypt was a utopia, and Moors predate Islam. You're dead. Give
Uh,
me one, give
Swabo.
me one, give me one civilization that the Moors created, and give me one thing that the Moors introduced that was unique to being Moorish. You have nothing. You died on
African
every front.
dynasty.
Anything that the Moors is introducing has already pre-existed them. And anything that you said that the Moors introduced to Europeans only impressed those Europeans at that time. And there's no civilization that owes their fucking origin to Islam and Moorish. And on top of all of that, on top of all the fucking that, you should be already dead and resting in your fucking grave. Then I'm gonna tell you that Moors predate Islam. The Moors did more to civilize people outside of Islam. Remember, I showed the 6th century historian who already recorded the Moors. They said these people are not dark skinned like the Moors, and this is before Islam. So stop. Before Islam was around, Moors was around. And what was the more? Remember, Moors is it? What was that fancy word you thought you was impressing us with? The European called certain African Moors, and then they broadened it to that it just meant an educated black person, an educated African. But you never did shit outside of Mauritania. You ran your ass into the Iberian Peninsula, which were other black people that you were fighting, not Greeks and Romans, not whites, and you didn't declare war on the Europeans that you went in and civilized, man. Grow the fuck up. Stop preaching such an antiquated argument. Update your information and prove that fucking light is God and God is electromagnetism. Black power.
Hey, since you're saying Black Power, let me educate you on something so you start romanticizing pre-dynastic Egypt, calling it a utopia, because the oldest evidence of military in the Nile Valley goes back to like 13,000, 15,000 years. And if you are in a state of utopia, there is no need for a military. And Norma absolutely took his military from the south to the north, conquered the Tamahu, and established the dynastic period.
Shout
So,
out to you. The 12th, up to the 12th dynastic period of Egypt, it was a utopia. You're dead.
That's not true, bro.
right.
Understood. I know you'll say
There are
anything.
many.
I'm saying, bro,
I mean,
brother,
Not debated. Not
There
debate.
are,
Who want that debate? Who want that debate?
I'll take it. I'll
Who
take
want
it.
that debate next weekend?
I'll take it.
brother, how are you saying that when pre-dynastic Egypt and Nubia had war gods?
Man, wait. Okay, bad. Okay, bad.
So you saying that?
Nice.
that
Okay,
so,
bad.
so you saying Sekhmet wasn't a war god?
Bad.
I'll
Bad.
take that debate.
Bring your war gods,
You heard it here
and I'm gonna
first,
bring.
everyone.
And I'm gonna bring the development of the first 12 dynastic periods of Egypt, and you show me.
Arrows, spears, and fucking swords.
So that's the topic. Was the first 12 dynasties? Was the first 12 dynasties
Was
of
that
ancient
what
Egypt or
did a
utopia?
utopia exist in the Egyptian dynastic period? And LeBron,
And how are we defining utopia as to say no military conflict?
wow, yeah, however you want to, no one threw a rock at each other. But Laurel, I'm gonna ask you:
Okay, so
did the
while we
transatlantic slave trade civilize African Americans, brother? Can we get that answer?
I already explained that shit to you, and I'm not.
The coward.
Nah, the coward is you negating everything that I'm saying. Then keep asking me the same.
No, I'm not negating it. You're not saying it.
Okay, so
I'm asking you so I don't negate what you're saying. I'm asking you right up the middle. Did the transatlantic slave trade,
definitions of civilization that I'm using?
brother? Did the transatlantic slave trade civilize African Americans? Yes or no?
Again, we don't agree on the definition of civilization.
Brother, in any definition you can find,
definition because
did the transatlantic slave trade civilize African Americans?
I'm not gonna do that with you because you're disingenuous.
Did the transatlantic
You're being
slave trade?
disingenuous. I'm not gonna do it. I said no. No means no.
No, you won't answer, or no, it didn't.
I'm not going there with you because you're disingenuous.
Of course, and I want y'all to know that this man said in that debate. Listen to what he said in that debate. I don't gotta play no goddamn dumbass fucking games. I am my kid's motherfucking father, and this nigga stood up here and said that the transatlantic slave trade civilized African Americans. He said that the European civilized Native Americans.
Always appeal to emotions, bro. And this is what I'm saying, bro. All you doing is
you not answering the question. You shouldn't be saying shit. You're an intellectual coward who will not stand on what the fuck he said. Did the transit? Hey, King Naga, can I ask you? Did the transatlantic slave trade civilize African Americans, brother?
That depends on who telling the story.
My man, and I'm asking you, Goofy. I'm not asking those 16th century Frenchmen. I'm asking you, did the fucking transatlantic slave trade civilize African Americans from your perspective, opinion, and evidence and study, brother? You're dead.
Okay, now about this debate, right? So why? Oh, he done ran. He done dipped.
Yeah, because it's goofy to sit there and just ask questions and then negate what a motherfucker saying and then keep on badgering them with the same question over and over again as if you're not negating what the fuck they saying. Nigga, if I keep telling you that civilization is an ongoing fucking process, it's not something that like, oh, we're civilized now. No, nigga, it's an ongoing process. It never stops, right?
Right.
And then when you go look up the definition of civilization, a high level of art and science, government, and social development, the way of life of a people. This is the definition of civilization, the way of life of a people. How is this only one definition, like they keep claiming? The second definition, a series of changes involving it becoming civilized. Again, does that say anything about being peaceful, a peaceful change? No, the fuck it does not. It says refinement of thought, manners, and taste. Let's see. So when African Americans went through the assimilation process coming through this motherfucker, did it refine any of their thoughts? Did it refine any of their manners? Did it refine any of their fucking tastes or values? Ask yourself that question. And it says situation of urban comfort. When African Americans were in this motherfucker, was it a situation of urban comfort? Was that a situation going on? You see what I'm saying? See, so when you ask yourself these questions, did they do this? Did they do that? You have to ask yourself, did African Americans in this transatlantic slave trade come in contact with and or develop a high level of art and science and government of social development? Did they go through that? Did we go through that process here on this landmass dealing with these crackers? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did, and they did too.
Yeah, that's why I responded to his question was like, you know, it depends on who you asking, because the way history is taught, you know what I'm saying, the history is taught as if they did civilize the West Africans when they brought them here. But if you was to ask me, a descendant of West Africans, I would say no, the West African was already civilized. But history is told by the conquerors. That, you know what I'm saying? That goes back to the African proverb. Until history is told by the lion, then, you know what I'm saying, it would always lean towards the hunter. You know, so it's like
even if I
don't see how they don't understand.
I ask Google right now, and y'all can look this up. You can go look ask Google right now. Has there ever been a civilization that has came into existence? And no, has there ever been a society that has civilized another society without the means of war, oppression, and subjugation? Ask it. Just ask it.
I was gonna say no. that don't
And
exist.
that's all I'm saying. If the answer is no, then what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, because any people being invaded or overrun by opposing force are going to reject the opposing force. So that's going to immediately bring conflict. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think he using that conflict brush a little bit too wide, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. It's like once you look at what's being called civilization, it has always been imposed on people.
I'm gonna ask it.
But I got it. I got him now. He seemed to think that the Nile Valley was just this great utopia that was war free. I don't know where he getting that from.
Let me see what it say.
What I missed? I just heard y'all get quiet.
Oh, I got Suave Boss on the hook. I ain't gonna let him off it either.
So
And the topic was: did a utopia exist in the pre-dynastic period? Is that what you
Yeah.
guys were trying to go to?
The first 12 dynasties, meaning no wars. Yeah, no war for the first 12 dynasties.
even though they got war,
Drop that in the back chat.
even though they got war
Right.
gods. Hey, when start my screen real quick. I want y'all to see this shit.
Oh, I didn't see Laurel had. I mean, King Naga had his share too.
So
Here you
check,
go.
I'll stop mine. I'll stop mine.
look at the question I asked. Has there ever been a civilization that civilized another society without war and oppression? While historical cases of large civilizations civilizing another society entirely without any form of war, oppression, and subjugations are extremely rare. Extremely rare. So why do they keep on talking about civilization as it's like this nice fluffy ass fucking process? Why do you keep talking about it like it's not exactly what the fucking white man keep calling it? Nigga, it's colonization. That's what fucking civilization is. You trying to tell me the act of civilizing somebody else ain't the same as colonizing them? That's not the same thing. In fact, let's look at this. Let's look at the synonyms. Because this is what we like to do right here. We like to actually research.
All right.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's just check it out. Just some shit, right? No, I want actual synonyms. I want actual synonyms. Just give us the synonyms. We'll go back to it, right? Okay. Enlighten, right? Edify, educate, instruct, refine, cultivate, polish, sophisticate, socialize, humanize, improve, better, reclaim, acculturate, right? Acculturate. Now, why would they use these type of? Why would they be using these words? Let's see. Let's go down here. See if they got any see if they got any negative words. They only use the solid. They only use the positive. Let's see. But again, raising, widening, uplifting, stimulating, socializing. All of these words. Watch what happens when I do this. Civilizing versus colonization. Oh no. We need the political definition. Political. Come on, bro. All right, man. Go ahead and read that shit, bro. Hit him with that, Ruben, cuz.
What? Let me see.
Hit him with that.
The relationship between civilization and colonization politics is complex, with civilization often used as a political justification for colonization. As colonizers claim to be bringing a supposed superior civilization to other peoples, this justification enabled a power imbalance where colonizers imposed political control, denied colonized population self-determination, and often used violence or coercion to maintain dominance, despite sometimes introducing infrastructure or technology. Civilization as a political justification. Civilizing mission. Colonial powers framed their actions as a benevolent civilizing mission, arguing that less developed peoples needed governance from more civilized societies like Britain's progress. Supplanting religion. The concept of civilization became a powerful ideological tool that supplanted religion as a justification for conquest and control. Paternalistic governance. From this perspective, colonialism was seen not as exploitation but as a paternalistic means to an end, guiding less developed peoples toward eventual self government, though it required despotic rule in the interim. Colonization as a political and economic system. Political control. Colonization is the act of a more powerful nation establishing political control over another, often by acquiring and maintaining it through force or other means. Denial of self determination. This directly contradicted the principle of self determination, where people have the right to choose their own form of government, a right that colonizers denied to the indigenous populations. Imbalance of power. The civilizing narrative provided a political cover for an unequal power dynamic that allowed for economic exploitation and political domination, the lingering impact and debate.
Yeah, man. So now that's the compare and contrast to the word colonization and the word uh, civilization, and you already see that it's a vehicle. Look what it says. It says it is often used as political justification for colonization. So if this bug is telling you, and like I said, we can go down here to put it up from Wiki, we can put it up from Socio, from .cl. We can bring it from National Geographics. I mean, we could bring up some. You want it from Stanford. You want Stanford. Colonization. You can see it's gonna be all the same processes, bringing civilization to people and shit. Look, conquest of America. What they got to do with anything? Colonialism. Oh yeah, that's right. Colonialism. That's what we're talking about. Anytime you're talking about civilization, civilizing somebody else, you're talking about colonizing them people. So if you're asking me, did black people get civilized? Yep, because we got colonized. It's that simple. You either understand it or you don't. I mean, you would think they would understand that just based on us telling them, like, nigga, they bringing democracy.
Yeah. I just dropped that title in the back chat. He said he won't do it a week out, but we could discuss that because I'm good with that time frame or whatever time frame you want. And the title I dropped back there was Egypt a utopia free of wars through the first 12 dynasties? Because that's what he said.
Yeah, that shit hella stupid, bro. I'm like, they straight got war gods. They straight got war gods. I just don't understand how he run it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
And then he another one who uses a lot of fallacies in his debates. He uses a lot of fallacies in his dissertations. So what you think, A1? Good.
And of course, I'm the
No, I'm
negative
just
again.
happy I ain't a judge, bro. I'm just happy I ain't a judge because this one was all over the place. Like Unc said, y'all both said some crazy stuff. Y'all both had some points I didn't agree with. Y'all both had some points I did agree with. I see how you took a stance you didn't truly believe in, but pushed it. But I don't know. Then you can't get upset when people take the side that you truly believe in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Oh well, no, it ain't even a bad thing. It's for me, it's being the disingenuous part, right? Um, is the fact that when I keep giving definitions about what I'm saying, and you saying like, no, that's wrong, even though all of the information that we're looking at says otherwise.
Bro, you're trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat. You agree that even you don't agree with that stuff.
Yeah,
So would it be fair if they said that you were being disingenuous? Wouldn't they be accurate?
no, because there's nothing I said that was disingenuous. I said that they was murderous scumbags. I said the shit that they did was
But
great and terrible at the
not
same.
that part. I'll give you specifics on this specific part because you said you don't believe this. You said you don't believe that the Europeans civilized the Indians.
Yeah, in the sense that they talking, that when they
So if they heard you, so when they heard you say that they did, if they called you disingenuous, it would be accurate because you don't even believe
again,
it.
that's all subjectivity. Just like Spunky told you, it becomes a matter of subjectivity when it comes to the definition of civilized.
I mean, that's cool. If we gonna call it subjective, that's cool. Then you can't say they're being disingenuous either, because they just have a
I'm saying
different
they're being
perception.
disingenuous because they're negating the definitions that I'm using.
But they don't. But you even agree that on a
Yeah,
regular day you negate them too.
I agree that that definition that they're using is completely outside of the sphere of civilization as we see it, as we've all seen it. That's the reason why they can't show you a civilization that has been civilized by some another civilization that doesn't involve war, subjugation, and enslavement of some sort. That's why they can't show you because that shit don't exist. Because colonization and civilization are hand in hand of the same concept. One is a more politically correct term, and one is an outblatant fuck you nigga, I don't care. You see what I'm saying? Colonization is a hurtful term. You hear it, oh my God, we're getting colonized. The colonials, right? That's what you hear. When you hear civilization, you think it's a good thing. So you're more inclined to open up for that. You don't mind getting your pockets ran as long as it's done in the proper way, right? So
No, I feel you, but I definitely, I mean, okay.
you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not here to debate. I just wanted to make
It
that
comes
point.
down to like that. It's like how what is your definition of civilization? Like what is your okay, if you was gonna go over there and civilize these backwater ass people, how would you do it? You see what I'm saying? What would be your method? Oh well, I'm gonna sit down and talk to them. What happens when they ain't trying to hear that bullshit you talking? Right, nigga, you gonna have to smack up a couple of them. You gonna have to smack up a couple of them, choke a couple of them out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you don't sit down and listen to what I'm saying, I'm gonna beat him with your body.
And like you say, it's all subjective because some people would say the people who conduct themselves like that are the uncivilized. So it's like,
yeah, but it's already I mean, and now we're gonna use the term loosely, right? It's already an uncivilized thing to encroach on another people and to think that what you're gonna bring them is something that they value. Like it's already a fucking asshole mission. from the gate. The fact that you got it in your head that you finna go civilize other people, nigga, you already on some fucked up ass narcissistic shit. You ain't even got to the act yet, nigga. It's just thinking about it. Oh, I'm finna go over here and help these poor niggas. You see these poor downtrodden niggas, I'm gonna go over here and help civilize these.
That's not what they was trying to do.
That's exactly.
That was the excuse. That's the same excuse that the Vatican gave for stealing all of the land, bro.
Now you seeing my point?
No, you're not seeing my point.
What? What you mean?
Sorry.
No, I'm saying what you mean because
I'm saying you don't. When the Vatican gives that excuse, you don't agree with that. You think it's bullshit. So you can't be mad at nobody who's saying your whole round 1 and 2.
So
you see what I'm saying? Because any other day of the week, you would agree that is BS.
My argument is when the white man do it, right? When the Vatican do it, we all call it civilization, right? When the Europeans did it to the Indians, we call it civilization, right?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Greeks did it to the Romans, or when the Romans did it to the Greeks, they called it civilization. When the Moors did it to the Europeans, it's not civilization. Why?
Well, let me stop you there, because to Suave's point, they didn't go in and conquer them like they did everybody else. They went in and brought them soap and shampoo. So you're going down a list. Man. Hold on. You went down a list of people who got conquered and taken over, then try to use the Moors as the same standard, but they didn't conquer or take over Europe.
Okay, so when it says...
So that's why it won't apply, because you have to say they have to be conquered. So the Moors didn't conquer them.
The fact that when you look up 711 AD, it literally says they were fighting wars, continuous conflicts, raids. Those aren't fashion shows. A raid, a continuous battles and wars. Like, how is that not the same thing? It literally says continuous wars, battles, and raids. How is that not the same thing?
Because if they wanted to say colonization, they would have. But instead, they use continuous wars and raids.
Bro,
I'm assuming that there's a difference.
711 AD, they call it an invasion. That's what they call it. They call it a war and an invasion. They call it continuous battles.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
No, that I'm about to point out the only difference.
Just because somebody has a battle doesn't mean somebody conquered and colonized somebody.
They
conquered the Iberian Peninsula. They absolutely conquered it. And the only difference is the Moors are a group coming out of Africa, conquering Europe, and on the converse side, you have Europeans going into other lands, conquering those lands, and it's called civilization.
Right. And that's my whole point is why is it called civilization when the white man do it, but it's not when a dark-skinned people do it? Why isn't it called? It's because it's a double standard, and niggas don't even.
No, I don't think it's a double standard. It's a double standard they've created that we've never even accepted, even you, 7 days a week before today, because we don't call what they do civilization. We always have addressed it as colonization, but now, today, you switch and flip the script. But it's okay. I want to talk to you about it in the back chat. I don't want to do all this publicly. I don't even like disagreeing with my debaters online. Live.
Now you good. Now you good. It's like,
Yeah, y'all know I ain't biased. Y'all know I would never mess with none of these results. I don't care who wins or loses. This shit don't make no difference to me.
Here's the thing, though.
All I'm supposed to do is make sure the show happens.
You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn when dealing with Naga. If you don't give us no pushback, then you're going to be called by you.
Right.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Because they do be asking me like, "A1, these niggas don't got you." I'm like, bruh, I don't even know physics enough to even understand what the hell they be talking about. I just like that they get the conversation started, brother. Like, and people come in and have, y'all have the conversation. I don't know who right or wrong. I ain't looked up nothing y'all have said about nothing about God is light, bro. I haven't looked up nothing. You feel me? Like, I watch what y'all say. I watch what y'all do. I see the people coming challenging y'all. I see you get them on points sometimes. I see them get you on points. I'm already agnostic atheist. Like, you're not about to get me to think God is light. I don't care what, because I just think everybody doesn't know. We're all assuming. We're all jumping to some conclusions. Nothing's definite. We can't, I don't have no concrete proof of that yet. You know what I'm saying? You haven't got me there yet. Not that you can't. But a lot of the times when y'all do be teaching, I'll be back here running the board, sharing the link, responding to the comments and stuff like that. So
yeah, see, God is light is a polarizing topic, man. It's not going to die. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been long stretches of periods of time where we didn't bring it up or didn't talk about it because it was actually tried. They actually tried to ban it out of the back chat. But even if we're not talking about it, somebody's going to mention it. Somebody's going to take a shot at us. On the God is like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's something that's not going to go away because people going to continue to talk about it, whether we talking about it or not.
Yep, Cosmon Cal just challenged me to a debate. Yes, I accept. It would be an honor. Yeah, let's do that. We'll figure out a topic coming up soon. I haven't debated in 4 months. Dang, yeah, it's been about 120 it's 180 days. 120 150 days, something like that. So yeah, I would love to hop back in the ring. I said I wasn't going to debate on my channel just to keep the air of integrity and to keep this, but I'll debate anywhere. I don't care if you want to do it over here. I'm not going to do no funny stuff. I don't care about losing. I've always lost with grace and class. I always say the judges are entitled to their own opinion, just like everybody else. But anywhere you want to go and however you want to set it up, let's make that happen, man. It don't have to be over here, and it don't have to be my judges. I'm with it. Let's make it happen.
Right. And I was about to start working on another presentation tonight, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the African fight against colonization and slavery in Africa, on the Atlantic, and in the Americas. But I'm going to kind of put it on hold since I'm already abreast of the information. I'm going to put it on hold to see what Suave is going to do about this debate on the topic we discussed tonight.
Hey.
But that will be something that I will be bringing to your platform, that presentation. There's more information on that I want to get out.
Let's go. Let's go, man. I need some more presentations. Anybody in the crowd, if you want to get a presentation, you can hit me up at titansdebateleague@gmail.com. Or you can email me at titansdebateleague@coliseumufarguments.com. Again, that's titansdebateleague@gmail.com or titansdebateleague@coliseumufarguments.com. Hit me up. Send a link to some material that you put out before. We'll check you out and get you scheduled. I also have to put up a sign-up sheet on the website as well. So that way I could just start sending people straight there. That would actually be easier. So yeah, expect that tomorrow. I work fast. Yeah, back to you, gentlemen. My bad, I cut you off, King Nugget.
Nah, I was done. So I just wanted to let you know about the presentation I'm working on for your platform. You know what I'm saying? And hey, we're gonna keep on coming with content. That's what it is.
Let's go. Put them together. You already know y'all already know y'all on. Y'all just gotta tell me when. Y'all locked in. Cosmon Cal TV and the whole creator gang. Y'all are locked in too. Anytime you want to come over here and do anything, all you got to do is hit my inbox, hit my email, man. I'm trying to get something from Prince Judah Vaughn coming up soon. I know he's got something set up on Paradigm. I don't want him to be overworked. So as soon as you get that wrapped up, holler at me. We'll get you a presentation or something. I've seen you step up here and challenge Laurel and King Naga several times, but I'm interested to see how you fare against some other debaters, maybe someone in the faith like you. But yeah, we definitely gonna make that happen. So yeah, shout out y'all. Trust and believe the gospel. Shout out him. Let me go ahead and see who all in these comments. None of your business. Shout out her. Emmanuel Halawaya was in here today. Shout out Emmanuel Halawaya. Unc West came through and gave a critique. First time you ever hit the panel, man. Shout out to him. Blessed B popped in. Yeah, Timotheus, Mr. Definitely. Shout out to you. Smokey Saints Polemics, back again. Urema Yehuda with Benin. Tighten up on moderation. Yeah, man, y'all was wilding out. I ain't gonna lie, I was y'all was wilding out. Y'all was doing the most today. And Suave too, man. He was cussing like crazy, man. But this is the after show. This wasn't the actual debate. But yeah, if we tighten up on the moderation and keep it smoother, everybody don't like that wild stuff. Some people be in places and spaces where they can't even play that. So I try to keep it. I want to keep the stuff as kid friendly as possible because I want teenagers. I want this to be a PG-13 show. I am about to tighten this up, man, because we're limiting ourselves with our behavior on here. It's only so far we can go with the way we act. And I got big dreams for this little platform. So, but still, shout out to all the gentlemen who stepped up tonight. Shout out Laurel Burns. Shout out King Naga. Shout out everybody who came on the panel. Y'all the real MVP, man. And there are no winners or losers tonight when two titans come together to bring information this powerful to the stage. The people are always the winner. And with that being said, we're going to end with the song by Connie Son Family. And I'm sure we'll be live tomorrow with something for you guys. I've been live almost 7 days a week for the last 30 days. We've been rolling, man. Shout out my team, Dream Team. That's what I'm about to start calling them, man. Because I remember days I dreamed about this. Let's go. And we out. Y'all have a beautiful night.
Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. They talking, you listen, that's family. They don't tell your business, that's family. They calling your phone, coming looking for you. They say that you missing, that's family. They don't need permission, that's family. When you hurt, they can feel it, that's family. Let them come while you're cheering, that's family. Let them come when you living, that's family. Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. Hey, ain't nobody fighting around here. Ain't nobody shooting around here. Everybody that's around here, family. All love, no hate, be clear. No shade, all love, be real. You love them, you should know how it feel. Tired of all these badass kids. Tired of paying all these bills. Family going through the same thing, so they know exactly how you feel. They supply a shoulder I can cry. I provide a place where they can heal. Leave my money out, they don't steal. Let them have it if it's for a bill. Soldier for me when they in the field. Only way I live. Family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family all around me. Family all around me. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. He my family, she my family. We are family. We might have the same last name, but that don't make you my family. I got some people with the same blood, and I know that they can't stand me. I got some people I call that ain't kin that's gonna pull up and handle it. They take care of that business like family. We come from them trenches like family. Family all around me.